welcome to episode 335 of the Super Ultra Podcast Arcade for July 3rd, 2021. I am one of your co-hosts, Daniel Nicholson, and with me is my co-host, Dominic Stallworth. What's going on this week, Dominic?
Happy 4th. By the time you hear this, the 4th of July probably will already have passed, most likely. But I hope you had a happy 4th of July.
Yes. No fireworks blowing off fingers or anything?
Yeah. Be careful with the fireworks. I hope you were careful with the fireworks, I should say. I hope you're not listening to this while you are getting your fingers attached.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah. So, 4th of July weekend. Big weekend. But, I was going to get right down to it. Not really any other worldly news happened. Well, it was a big one, but I'm not going to get into that one. We get into... I quickly go through the sports. Basketball, Phoenix Suns are in the championship. I think it's their second time. I don't remember them being there before, Charles Barkley. Mm-hmm. But, it's the second time I've seen them anyway. And they will be playing the winner of Atlanta and Milwaukee. That series is still going on. Milwaukee is up 3-2. But I don't know. I don't think Giannis is coming back for Milwaukee. Giannis... man. Got hurt, the Greek Freak, unfortunately. This playoff has been like a mess with stars just being hurt. So I'm kind of rooting for Atlanta because I think Trae Young, he's hurt now too because he didn't play in the last two games, but they won one game without him. But I think he might be able to come back. So if he does come back, I would rather for them to go, for at least they'll be the healthier team to play Phoenix. Right. Because if it's Milwaukee versus Phoenix, I think Phoenix got it in the bag. I think it's over. Because if Giannis not playing, I don't see that team, as good as they are, beating Phoenix. I don't see them beating Phoenix. So it might be the State Farm guy, CP3, Chris Paul, he might be getting a ring. And I just saw something on the internet saying that there is no player who is currently playing right now that hasn't won a championship.
That's insane. And also pretty cool.
Yeah. So somebody's going to be definitely new champions. It's going to be people who have never experienced it. They're going to be a champion. All right. Nothing else in other sports. Our Orioles still suck. Though they did beat Houston, who was one of the top teams in the league, 3 games.
Only because they're cheating again, Dominic.
Because Houston cheated. Well, so what, they cheated and they lost?
Yep. No, because that's why they're one of the top teams.
Oh, yeah. But yeah. So I don't know if that was a sweep or that was a 4-game series. I honestly don't remember. But I know they won 3 in a row. Actually, let me see I don't know what they did yesterday, but hey, I'll take that. All right, so that's it about sports. There's not really much to say. MLB All-Star Day. I think they're still voting. They got the starters, but no Orioles, so boo. That's it. All right, so let's just move on to. Oh man, let's get some wrestling news. You got some wrestling news?
Nah, nothing really worth talking about right now.
Oh, okay. All right, so let's get to what we've been watching. So. I guess I'll go ahead because I watched one thing that you didn't watch.
All right.
Batman: The Long Halloween Part 1 was released, the DC animated movie. And this was great. I really liked this. The tone, the voice acting was good. Troy Baker didn't play Batman like he did in the Telltale games. He played the Joker.
Oh, interesting.
He was good. The guy who did Batman is the guy from the TV show that's still on, like the longest running TV show on CW.
Oh.
After Smallville.
The Supernatural?
The two brothers. Supernatural, yes.
Which they're now apparently like rebooting.
God darn, they're rebooting it.
Yeah.
Well, wait a minute.
We're doing like a prequel
actors?
or something, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I remember my wife watching that show like 8 years ago, and then realizing that it was still on, even though it was already in like 10 seasons. It's like, holy crap, this thing is going on forever.
That's what I said. Dang, I was watching like the first 2 seasons, and then I think it came on time. It came on the same time. It came on Thursdays, and that was a time with like The Office and all those comedies were on. And I was like, man, I can't see Supernatural, and I can't record because that wasn't. It was something else that came on around the time, and I couldn't record that, and I just stopped watching it. And then I just saw, like, because Smallville was the longest running show, it had 10 seasons. And then it's like, I saw something like, hey, Supernatural broke Smallville's record. And I was like, what? That thing is, why is that still going on? But yeah, Troy Baker, he talks with the Joker. Josh Duhamel talks for Harvey Dent. I think I've seen him before. That's the guy.
Is he the guy from like Transformers or something? Okay.
Yeah.
Josh Duhamel or something.
Duhamel. Okay, yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
And Naya Rivera, the woman from Glee, famous for Glee. She did Catwoman, who passed away a couple years ago. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they got some names in here. But yeah, it was good. It's well done. It's very, this is definitely adult.
Yeah, it's like rated R or something, isn't it? I saw the trailer and it was a Red Band trailer.
Oh, I didn't even know that. Oh, they had a red. Oh, darn.
It was the trailer I watched was for part 2 though, so I don't know if it makes any difference.
Yeah, part 1 is pretty good. I hope part 2 lives up to what this was. It comes out the end of this month. And yeah, this is probably one of the best animated movies I've seen. Like my favorite ones of the DC universe of like the last, I guess now, it's been a while, decade, I guess, is the Red Hood, Batman the Red Hood, Batman, the Justice League, I forgot what it was called. It was the one where the villains they knew all their weaknesses because they broke into Batman's lair because Batman has all the weaknesses of the Justice League just in case they get out of hand.
Was that like the Justice League versus Legion of Doom or something like that?
It's something like that. I don't know. I mean, I don't remember the title, honestly. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. It was a versus thing. But it was one of those Justice League anime movies. Like one of the early ones. And then, Justice League Doom. That's what it's called. Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and the Flashpoint, the Flashpoint paradox is one of my favorite. That was a good one. And the first Suicide Squad animated movie is one of my favorites, and this is up there. This is up there with them. Like, is the ones I've seen. Like, this is very good.
From the trailer, it looks like this one has a new art style too, which is kind of cool looking.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I do like that art style.
Got like a bold outline, almost like Archer, but not animated like Archer.
Yeah. So the art style was done in the Superman movie, the one that was supposed to have start like the new timeline, I guess.
Oh, okay.
So they sort of started there because I remember seeing it look different and kind of, the outline of Superman and those guys like that. But the animation looked better in this movie than that one, but maybe I'm misremembering. I gotta look back. It just looked like it was better done in this movie than that one. But yeah, the movie is great. I definitely recommend it, like a watch. And this is definitely a adult one. Even though I know a lot of these movies are somewhat adult themed, but they weren't. But they're still like, you can watch it. You could get away with. I think you can watch some of these with kids. You can get away with it, but this one isn't one of them. I mean, they kind of started that like maybe halfway through these animated movies. They start going like, okay, we're just gonna go straight adult with it. All right. So I guess we can get into Loki. Loki, this is episode 4, right?
Yeah, episode 4.
So how'd you like it?
I liked it a lot. It definitely is at like over the mid-season point at this point, and now we're right into the action and not so much even just action, just moving the plot along and getting everything ramped up to
getting that plot
to
twist
get to the climax. Yeah. So I enjoyed this episode a lot. It was a little more action packed. There are some fight scenes in there that are pretty good. And just pushing the plot along. Interested to see where it goes.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed it. I mean, I had no problems with this. Spoilers now. How'd you feel about seeing Lady Sith again? What does that mean? Is she just a cameo? Is she going to be in the new Thor movie?
I'm trying to think if I heard anything about that or not. I would hope she's back because they're not doing that show that she was on anymore, right? The one where she had the numbers all over her. And it seemed like that was mostly the reason why she was gone. So hopefully she is back. I'd like to see her in Thor, whatever comes of that.
I just want to know, where was she then? Like how they'll explain it. Was she like, they're going to say she was in another realm doing something probably?
Yeah. Or they're just going to completely ignore it. They're just, she was over here. She was on the ship the entire time, Dominic. Yeah.
But thing is, all his other friends, are they dead, right?
Yeah, mostly.
Dang.
Everybody except like Korg and Meek. Everybody else is dead. Oh, yeah, like all the Warriors 3 or whatever. Yeah, they're all.
Yeah.
They were all killed by
Hela. Killed
Hela.
all the men. That's what they did, Daniel.
Yes.
They're sexist.
Just trying to promote their agenda.
Because I like their character.
Yeah.
I mean, not saying there's a lot of character, but I actually wanted more.
Yeah. I like the potential for her character.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
Now,
I liked it. I wonder what it means. Did they die? Did Loki and his what's on? Is that Owen Wilson?
Yeah,
or Luke Wilson. I'll forget the names.
Morbius, Morbius.
Yeah, Morbius. Yeah, I do not like that name for him. But I wonder, are they dead and like there's gonna be some time traveling when they were alive, or are they not dead at all and they just maybe you don't die when you get stuck on a stick, you go transfer somewhere. What do you think?
So did you stick around for the mid-credits thing?
No, because they didn't do it to the other. See, that's why I hate these Marvel shows.
You just gotta sit through it.
They didn't do it the other ones.
You just gotta sit through it.
Nah, man, that's bullshit.
One episode every season is gonna have something.
Freaking 2 shows, and it did shit. So I said, okay, they're not gonna do shit after these shows again. So now I know not to waste my time.
Well, they did one episode of WandaVision and one episode of Captain American Winter Soldier, so they're keeping up the streak. They just want you to sit through every episode to find it.
I didn't watch those though.
Oh, yeah, because that's where they first show off White Vision in WandaVision. They show like his eyes opening, and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, I don't even know what the White Vision eyes opening. Wait a minute. That wasn't that the last one though?
No.
What was that one?
That was like 2 episodes before the last episode or something like that. Maybe 1 episode before.
Yeah,
before he appears there.
I didn't see that one. I didn't see that one. Yeah, I saw the episode, but I didn't see that clip.
And then I forget what the Falcon and the Winter Soldier one is. I'm sure it's something to do. Oh, it was I think it was where you see Walker like building his shield, like you see him in the garage hammering together his new shield.
Yeah, I didn't see that either.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. I did see that. But that was... Wait a minute. It was something about those endings, man, that it made me stay for them. Those endings, I don't know. The outros were all the same. That, like, you saw something in the background that was different than what you see in the previous episodes. Like, it was like like a foul or something. Like, I want to say that was Winter Soldier. Like, the fouls were different. That's why I stayed for them.
Gotcha.
And this, I didn't see nothing different. So that's why I didn't stay for it. So what happened in the post-credit scene?
So in the post-credit scene, Loki wakes up in what appears to be like a destroyed New York and is met by 4 other Lokis, a classic looking Loki, a old man in a yellow and green tight outfit with horns, like you would think of like the old Loki in the comics.
Yeah.
A kid Loki, and a black man Loki with like a Thor's hammer, basically, which they describe in the credits as boastful Loki. And also an alligator Loki, which is just literally an alligator with the Loki horns on him. He's not like a humanized alligator or anything like that. So it seems like, at least for Loki's sake, he is definitely waking up somewhere else, seemingly in a place where they maybe like banish the Lokis to when they're pruned, as they call it. So maybe there's just like a hell equivalent or something where all the pruned ones of yourself go when you get pruned or something like that.
I hate the whole credit thing, man. I still can't get over that. I think it's a fucking waste. I think you should just put it at the end of the show.
It's definitely, I don't disagree. Like the fact that you have to stick around through every episode, like it's different from a movie, right? Like the movie, at this point at least, we know every single movie is going to have one, or we expect every single movie to have one. Whereas,
I disagree with that now. I'm done with that. I'm like, this is old now.
Yeah.
That was cool when I was like, oh, something cool, let me stay and watch. Now I'm like, yo, do like the stars, the credit when you say the name, show the stars names,
the short
and
credits,
then put
right
that
before,
shit.
yeah, you don't want to sit through, all the CG artists and all
those
the
credits are too long
composers
now
and everything.
They're way too long than what they were back in the day. Like you're staying in for like over 10 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's not, I'm not exaggerating. You're staying in over 10 minutes to watch a bunch of names I can't even register in my brain.
No, I agree with you, and especially with the television shows too, because even if you're under the impression that you're going to see one at the end of one of these episodes, you're still sitting through the credits of every single episode to figure out which one it's going to be.
Yeah, and then I'm like, it's the same fucking names.
Yeah.
I mean, only some names. I'm just like, man. I mean, of course, some of the names are going to be different because, hey, maybe somebody came in. But it's a weekly TV show, man.
Yeah.
Nobody really stays around for a fucking credits on a weekly TV show. Unless there was good music. If there's a good music and any music, then they'll stick around. Yeah, she agrees with me.
Yes, she is very unhappy about post-credit sequences, Dominic. Yeah, so I do wonder what that means, and are we actually going to get like an episode of Loki hanging out with these Lokis, and we're going to find out more about these Lokis? They all seem to have these interesting kind of stories, but more to like the main plot, what happens there? Like now we know that the timekeepers are just robot representations, seemingly, for somebody maybe bigger and badder. So who is that? What could that be? I'm very interested in that.
I have no idea.
I thought they were going to go crazy and just like at the end, Loki was going to be like, I was the one that created the timekeepers. Like, oh no. And then you find out that our Loki is the evil Daniel. Loki. I mean,
that's how I was joking with you. So now that I know Loki somewhere, I wonder if did the other people go somewhere too? Are they?
I just want Owen Wilson to be riding a wave rider somewhere. That's all I want for that man. He's worked so hard in his life. He just wants to ride a ski-doo.
Yeah, the show I do like. I do like the sci-fi-ness, mystery of it. Yeah, like I really enjoy that.
Yeah, and I like the female Loki character too. She's really cool. Now because that's the interesting thing, right? Like what we find out in this episode is that they took her at a very young age, and we don't know the reason why. I've seen a lot of speculation because she's playing with her toys and basically like pretending to be the superhero, and Lokis are supposed to be the bad guy. That was the variation that they deemed unacceptable. So they were like, oh, this Loki's going to grow up to be a good person. We can't have that. We got to prune her. And then she escapes and, carries on this whole thing. But now we know
Here's the thing. So it's different dimensions too. That's what this is?
I guess. I mean, I guess like dimensions and timelines are kind of equivalent in this world, basically. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest with you, because like you see on their little graphics, like the branch going off of the main timeline, the sacred timeline. But like, what does that mean? Like, how does that work? Are they literally just going back in time? So everything that happens in the past, I mean, it has to be, right? Because there's a female Loki. So that's
what I'm saying. And there's multiple Lokis, and they just talking about the alligator Loki.
Yeah, timelines and dimensions and multiverses. They all have to kind of be a thing, right?
Yeah, like I know in DC, like you have that too. The constant are the new gods. There isn't more than one dark side.
Oh, okay.
And there isn't more than one of those other new gods that are against Darkseid. The All Father, I think his name, something like that. I forgot. No. What's his name? I forgot his name. He looked like a lion. I mean, he got a beard. But
he looks like a lion. Just a man with a beard.
But yeah, like they make it like they don't have multiples of them, and like the antimatter or something like that stuff. That's one thing. Like there's a multiple of them. That's the constant. But everything else, there is multiple versions of. So yeah, so maybe like with this, there must be a constant then, because if there's like they can see all these different like people from different multiverses or dimensions. Well, I guess this is multiverses. I guess dimensions means the same thing as it's just a different universe. All these different multiverses, it must be like there is a constant with it then.
Yeah.
Here also.
And maybe that constant in that case is whoever the big bad is in this. And I've seen a lot of people speculate that it's Kang. He's a guy that's already cast for the Ant-Man and the Wasp movie, Quantum Mania. He's the guy from Lovecraft Country.
Lovecraft, and it was another Spike Lee movie, the one that came on Netflix. I forgot what it's called.
Because the main TVA agent, the judge, the one that Owen Wilson talks with a lot, she in the comic books is like his girlfriend or something like that. What's wrong? She is afraid of Kang the Conqueror, apparently.
In the comic book?
Yeah. So they're related, so people are speculating that's why. Also, like, Spider-Man comes out at the end of the year. There's a lot of rumors about, like, different Spider-Men showing up in that. We already know Alfred Molina's going to be in that as Doc Ock, and I don't know if it's been confirmed, but Jamie Foxx being in there as Electro. And also, we know that there's, like, Doctor Strange tie-ins there, so we're very much moving, like, in the overall Marvel Cinematic Universe into a multiverse thing even before we hit Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, because we've already had WandaVision, and you start to get kind of some of that stuff. And now, obviously, with Loki, we're getting more of that stuff. And then, well, I guess What If is kind of its own thing. Shang-Chi doesn't feel like it's necessarily going to have that kind of stuff necessarily. I don't know. I mean, they have dragons and shit, so that's got to come from someplace, right? Yeah, and Black Widow, obviously, which is crazy. Black Widow finally comes out next week. We're going to see what that actually, if that actually has any sort of consequences on the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe. We'll see. But yeah, there's a lot of multiverse stuff going on, Dominic.
Yeah. This is all news to me because, like I said, I haven't been looking at any news, so I don't know what's going to happen. I just watch the shows now. All right, so I guess we can move on to what we've been playing. So you can go ahead. You can start.
Right. So I've just been playing some more Mario Golf. I'm having a lot of fun with it, but also I have a lot of problems with it. I was telling you before we started recording, the basics of golf there are there and they're good and I like them a lot. There are some changes they've made to previous iterations. Like there's a more simplified mechanic for golfing when you're using the buttons. It's kind of like a 2-button system instead of a 3, where you hit the button to start, hit the button for distance or power, and then hit the button for accuracy. This one's more power and accuracy are kind of tied together depending on what landscape or terrain you're on. Like if you're in the fairway, on your bar, you have these little red areas on either side at the top, like at max power. And it's basically like, if you go max power, you're going to lose a little bit of your accuracy. And if you're in the rough, you're going to lose a lot more of your accuracy. And if you're in a bunker, you're going to lose even more, so on and so forth. But I think for the most part, outside of me just not realizing that and still like intuitively hitting the button the 3rd time because I thought that's what I was supposed to do, because I guess I just kind of skipped the tutorial for that stuff. It makes sense, and I think that's fine. The more gimmicky aspects of it, though, are what I'm having trouble with. The stuff like the speed golf comes into play in the story mode because you're basically starting out with a group of Charge and Chuck and Abu, and there's another character I can't remember. Oh, and a Toadette, I think. And basically you're playing your rounds as the speed golf to introduce you to like that multiplayer mode. And I like some aspects of that. Like it makes it a more active experience. You hit the ball, then you run to the ball. But the things I don't like about it are when you're playing like a typical round and it teleports you between your ball and, you know, the next spot that you hit your ball, you also get to see a shot of your ball's flight path and see where it lands, whereas when you're running to it, you don't get that. It tells you in like the upper left-hand corner, oh, you landed on the fairway, sorry. The fairway or the rough or in a bunker.
Yeah, freeway, man. Yeah, that's out of bounds, man.
But you don't get like a good idea. Like I could be on the fairway, but be right behind a tree. And then I'm running up to there, and then I find out I'm behind a tree, and I'm like, oh, fuck, this is shit. So there's aspects of that, like, that could be solved with them having, like, a little camera of your ball in the upper corner or something like that. So while I'm running there, it's also showing me the flight trajectory of my ball and where I'm landing and stuff like that. So I think that takes some of, like, what I like about the game and, like, I'm thinking as soon as I see where I'm landing. Also, like, some of the strategy it takes away from me. Because for me, I like to see that because it then gives me an idea of how I should be treating the ball. Like, did my ball land and then roll into the rough? Or did I just hit it into the rough? Or, like, I'm not seeing those aspects of it. And that's what I'm feel like I'm missing, because that then informs my next shot. Like, oh, in that one I used top spin and then it rolled into the rough. Maybe this next time I should use a little back spin and kind of pinpoint it a little more.
Okay.
So there's that aspect of it. And then the next course, like, it's very much the courses in the story mode are informing you of the different types of gameplay that they have available. So I'm sure at some point I'm going to have like a battle golf style tournament also. But the first one was normal. Second one was that kind of... The second one was... Well, the first one was normal-ish, but it introduces like the speed golf stuff where you're running to your ball. The second one is where it gets kind of shitty and it's like cross-country golf or something like that. So it's multiple holes and you can do them in whatever order you want, which is kind of like the battle golf multiplayer, I think. But in this course, it's like different levels, and you're trying to hit your ball into these like tornadoes or wind vortexes to lift them up onto the next level. And I don't like that at all. Like, it's very particular, and you got to come at it from the right angle, because even if you hit it into the wind thing, it doesn't always raise it as much as you want. So if you're further away from it, then it's going to lift it up, but it's still just going to smack into the side of the valley or whatever. And then you're going to be too close to the tornado, so you can't hit it into the tornado. It's it seems very poorly thought out. I didn't like that at all. I didn't end up having as much trouble with it as I expected to, because that's what the second tournament is like play a round of golf on this. So I basically strategized to get up to the top platform first and get all the holes up there, and then come back down, and then come back down to the lower level. So I didn't have to worry about like going up and then back down and then up again. But it just wasn't something that, like, it's not something I feel like I'm ever going to see in real golf. And obviously that's kind of the fun, right, of Mario Golf, is it's absurd and you're going to see things that you're not really going to see in real golf. But also it just seems like really shitty. The one after that was like a speed golf thing where you're trying to conserve water, basically. And that was just like, it was just more speed golf. But I don't like when they take away the actual golf mechanics. Like, they're not worried about if you get par or bogey or birdies on these holes. They just want you to get it done as fast as possible. And for me, I like getting the satisfaction of getting like a birdie or whatever. So there's that. It's really.
Is the speed golf is the one when you running, or that's something else?
So it's a combination of that. It's like there's like the speed golf where you're running to the ball, but you're still basing the score only off of whether you come in under par or the lowest out of the group. But then there's the speed golf, and it's probably called something different between the two. But then there's that one where it's literally just whoever has the fastest time in these 18 holes is the winner. Doesn't matter if you went over par or not. And of course, the more shots you take, the more likely you are to take a longer time. But that's not always necessarily the case. Depending on like your setup and everything. Like if I'm taking my time to like adjust for the wind factor and this and that, like it's, I might get it in fewer shots, but these guys might get there ahead of me. So there's that stuff. I also like the power shot that my character has right now. Just seems stupid because I thought it would just make my ball go further basically. But it just made my ball go straighter. So like this one time I just hit it right into the smack dab side of a mountain, and that pissed me off. So I don't find myself actually using like the special shot very often. I'm just like, give me my regular ass golf, I guess. The overall like RPG-ish elements of it, like there are definitely aspects of that Game Boy Color game that I am enjoying. Like they'll have practice areas for the courses, and you can go there beforehand, and there will be challenges like, hey, hit 3 drop shots into this like bullseye basically and get the most points, those kind of things. And you get experience from that, and you can get better control and speed and whatnot. So I think that's cool. As long as there's more of that, and I haven't found there to be as much as there were in earlier courses, but I might just not be searching it out as well, because I definitely have already stopped talking to like all the ancillary characters that don't do anything for me gameplay wise, but just say words, because I'm like, I don't need to hear you talk about like, oh, Charging Chuck's really good, I hope you beat him today. I don't need to be reading all that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I know, because I was like talking to everybody, and I was like, man, y'all ain't got shit to say, man.
Exactly. Yeah, I came to learn that, and I was like, I know the guys that are going to give me something, they have exclamation points over their head. I'll meet with them.
Yeah. I just wish there's something more clever for them to say, like something really saying nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, so.
Like, see, that's the thing with the Trails games, RPG. See, I wish it was like Mario RPG where they basically saying nothing. I could beat those games a lot faster.
Right.
Because it seems like everybody says something that's kind of funny or really has something to do with something. I mean, not all the time, but a lot of the time. More times than I would think an RPG of that nature will put in for NPCs to really have, like, just have talking points that say, oh, that's interesting, or you learn something. Because after a while, you start growing, because they'll be the same NPCs, and you start growing with them, you start learning about them. And it's like, oh, okay. But it also takes a lot of time because while I may have like only 2 tasks to do in the game on that part of the chapter, I'm spending, 30 minutes like walking around the whole freaking city talking to everybody.
Yeah. It's like the Mass Effect ship. Like, I just want to go around, talk to everybody, get a little bit of the story that's going on.
Yeah,
whereas this, it's like, random Koopa numbered 72 said a stupid thing again. Like, there's no difference between them. There's no character to them. You know, you're not seeing Boshi or whatever. Like, it's just, it's filler, which, like, to their credit, there's a lot of filler there. Like, there's a lot of characters there just standing around with something to say.
There's a lot of characters. It's probably a little more than it needs to be.
Exactly. They spent too much time on too many characters and not enough quality writing stuff. Yeah,
go ahead.
Just overall, like, I'm enjoying the game in spite of some of the things I don't like about it. I do think it's still fun, but I hope at some point later in the game it becomes more about the being good at the golfing game and not so much the gimmicky stuff. And one of the other things that worries me is, like, since I'm playing at the same time as other characters, like I'm playing alongside them, I don't like any of the, like, I'm gonna mess up your thing super moves. Like, I guess there's ones that, you know, knocks balls away and stuff like that. Like, give me superpowers to make my game better. Don't make superpowers to make other people's game worse, right? Like, that's the kind of stuff I hate.
Yeah.
So what are you thinking about it so far?
Well, see, I only played a little bit of it. I'm still in the tutorial aspect of it. So, what did I get to? I think what am I working on? Not my drive. I think the spin. I think I'm working on the spin right now in the tutorial. I forget, but I'm very early, man. So,
gotcha.
I don't know, but like, so is the story pretty good though?
The story
like
is
overall
fine. It's, hey, you're a golfer.
So it's not what you really wanted, like in Game Boy Color.
No, but also, like, to be honest with you, I'm looking at that through rose-colored lenses. I'm not entirely sure what the story was in that game outside of, hey, you want to be a pro and, you know, Mario's going to come along and you're going to beat him. You know, I don't know that there was much more to it, like emotional depth or anything like that. Okay. And that's what this is so far. Except I'm not really seeing, like, what I recall of the Game Boy Color one. It was like every course you were meeting up with like a Mario character. And it's like, it's a big deal if you as a rookie are going to be able to beat Yoshi or something like that, right? Where this is, it's you and Chargin' Chuck and Boo and Toadette, and you're all part of this like rookie class and you're trying to prove yourself better than them. But I haven't even found that, like I said, I don't, maybe I said it before we were recording, but I was telling you basically in one of the speed golf things, I was rocking everybody. And then like the last 2 holes, I hit some really bad hazards that then made me fall into second place as far as time goes. So technically Charging Chuck came in first. I came in second. And I think Toadette or Boo, I can't remember. One of the other ones came in third. But, like, you don't get any character interaction from Chargin' Chuck. Like, oh, man, you almost had me, but I beat you in the end. Or just, you know, I beat you.
That sucks.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be as specific as, hey, you had me in the first round, but then I got you back or anything like that. But
I wanted to be something similar to, like, Golf Story. That's what I wanted. Like, just with Mario characters.
Yeah, it's definitely not that. Like, Golf Story is very much heavy on the story, which is why I enjoyed that so much and would have liked the golf mechanics of it to be a little more tweaked. But overall, I thought that game was extremely good. And if I put these 2 games up against each other, like, they're very different in a lot of ways, but I think overall, as far as a game and enjoyment, I think Golf Story was kind of the superior product there.
Yeah, that's because I was expecting, like, hey, in the story you go through different worlds, like a Mario, like a Mario game, but it's just golfing. You go different worlds, you battle these places, then you face a boss, which is one of the Mario characters.
Yeah.
And then you go to another world, and golf. I mean, you can put some story around that, but it's like that was the basic premise, and I wouldn't mind it like that. Like you get zany courses, different type of courses, like with all these Mario, the basically Mario like architecture, like in the games.
Yeah,
like you're in the desert, so you see the
tall
pyramids
guys.
And those little ball things that be like cactus. I don't know, brown cactus balls.
And you do see some of that, but it's like I was telling you before we started podcasting. Like there's not as much detail to that as I would like from this to give me Mario vibes. Like if you took out those very specific elements like the cactus guy and dropped me in with any generic cartoony looking character, I wouldn't go, oh man, this is very reminiscent of Mario. It just doesn't give me those vibes.
Yeah, darn. And that's what I really wanted. I mean, it seemed like an alright game. It's just it seems like it's not what I had in my mind what it was going to be.
Yeah, it's a game I'm definitely going to spend time with.
I never played another Mario Golf. I haven't played
flaws.
Mario Golf game before.
Gotcha.
This is like my first one. What were you about to say?
I was just saying, like, I'm still going to spend a lot of time with it. I feel like, especially if the game is, sufficiently long. Like, I'm going to beat this game because I'm enjoying it, but it's in spite of its flaws that,
Yeah. I mean, I hear you. All right. So I guess I get into what I've been playing. So I finished Assassin's Creed Valhalla. At least the main story. Because that's the game I've been playing most of the week.
Right.
The other games I played because I needed some video. Because I can't get video of Assassin's Creed Valhalla very well because it really slows the game down when I put it on OBS to record, and it's like I don't want to play like this. Or I have to put the graphics down. That's like I don't want to play like that. I want to play it with like there's like no shaders or nothing, and it look all flat. So
I don't want people to see me playing like this.
Yeah. So I said, nah, I'm just gonna have to not record it. But overall, I enjoy it. I think I like Odyssey better, but I like how I progress through Valhalla more than Odyssey. I like the whole thing of me going to different parts of England to get that kingdom or clan to join ours. Not join us, but be our allies. And then they go into story. I like the way the game goes that way. The overarching story with the whole Animus stuff and the Templars is still very confusing to me. It seems like it's pretty cool where they're going, but since I didn't play the other games, I'm just not attached to it as much as someone who probably has been invested in this story post Desmond has. So, like, there's a character that a little spoiler, but not too much. There's a character that lives who is somewhat a villain. And he somehow survived to our time because of something you did in the past. But he became a villain right at the very end. I mean, like, it was almost like a Final Fantasy kind of thing when, I was like the old Final Fantasies. Like, right. I was the bad guy the whole time. I was like, I ain't never met you. But you did meet this guy, but the way that he came out to be is like, what? What is going on? And then he doesn't really fully explains it to you why he's the villain, like why he doesn't like you. Like you don't understand. You just think he's mad. You say you're mad. Now I sort of understand why he's doing what he's doing, but for the protagonist that I'm playing to not understand, it just feels unfulfilling. Like, what the fuck is this? Like, right. Now, like, that's a two-part thing. See, that, like, he's a villain, but he's not a villain as far as the Templar. Like, he's not a Templar. It's a different type of, like, he has his own agenda. the Templar villain thing, that was all right. It was an okay arc. It was okay. I mean, it wasn't great, but it was okay. But as far as gameplay, I do like the whole going to war, like battle. Like, I love that. Like, you're breaching the fortresses, like you try to break down the barriers, helping out. Mm-hmm. Like, you really feel like you're fighting in a battle, man, and it feels good. Like, just to chop people heads off and just like gorge them. I mean, it is brutal. But I mean, you gotta imagine. Oh, listen, hand-to-hand combat stuff is probably the most brutal shit you ever gonna see. Probably being, because you gotta stab people and cut them off. There's one thing about today's war. I mean, blowing up people and seeing pieces all over the place, that's fucked up. But it's usually from a distance. Yeah,
it's not as intimate.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not you freaking piercing your sword or axe or knife or dagger or anything into a human being.
Yeah.
And they don't die instantly, so, I mean, unless you chop the head off. But then, hey, what if you got the dull axe and you don't get the clean hit? It's just like, oh, man. I mean, it is brutal, but it's so satisfying. So satisfying, damn. It's like, yeah, give me that blood. But, the game overall was pretty cool. The side quests, like I said, I stopped. Just go straight through this whole game. And actually, I'm going to go back and see my time. My time should be right, because I never left this game on, because I always turn my computer off. I always turn it off when I'm going to sleep or stop playing or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I want to see how long it took, because it took a long while. And I didn't do most of the side quests. And all the collectibles and shit you do around the world, I didn't do most of them. And I think I put a lot of hours in this game. And I'm like, man, ain't no way in hell I'm going to play some more. And then it's still a mission I can do. It's not really important. What is this mission? It was a wedding. I did that. And that was kind of like the end of the game.
Was it like the Red Wedding?
No, but there was a something that, but it wasn't. I wouldn't call it a red wedding, like a red meeting, I guess. I don't know what you say. Okay. Like the doors were shut and then people start coming in to kill people.
Gotcha.
But I forget what the mission. It doesn't seem that important. I was like, come on, why are you just giving me this? That it looked like it's just me traveling and just going to be talking to somebody. I was like, come on, man, you gotta at least give me something that's be fun to do. Yeah, and romances are really not that important. And for a game that at the beginning it says, do you want to, like, this game has some nudity, but you can turn it off if you want to? It's not a lot of nudity. I only saw titties one time, like at a brothel, and that was close to like one of my last missions. I was like, this
still nudity.
Why even? Thing is, I'm just saying, why even have it? Like, listen, I'm not a prude. I'm definitely not a prude. But I'm just saying, if you're not going to really show a lot of nudity, do you really have to have it then? If it's not going to be really...
why even put it in the game if it's going to be that little?
Yeah. Like, what's the point? I mean, just be like... Because even like when you have a romance with someone, whether a woman or a man, when you say like, hey, can I just go to bed together? They're with their clothes on, man. You go to bed, your clothes.
Of course.
You don't see... There ain't no Mass Effect kind of sex stuff happening. That's all you do. And I was like, this is okay. I mean, I don't care, but I'm just thinking, I thought it was going to be like graphic, because the way that y'all advertised about nudity in the beginning of the game, I'm thinking like, holy crap, man, they must go some graphic stuff. I want to be seeing like ding dongs in here. Yeah, you don't see ding dongs or nothing like that, or a lot of naked women either. So that's if you don't like that stuff, then yeah, this game doesn't throw that stuff in your face. And you're a person who do like it, well, you're going to be disappointed because it doesn't throw that in your face. You might, if you got PC, you might have to get mods. Maybe there's some mods out there for you.
There you go.
But I heard that the canon of this story is that you're a woman. Because I played as a man this time. I played as a woman in Odyssey because I heard she was a better character. Mm-hmm. And this always, for me, always pictured Vikings as the men part, you know. And that's the reason why I chose a man, because that's what, from history and everything I grew up with, it was like, hey, the one man and they go on and pillage and stuff like that. I didn't really see women. I mean, I ain't saying they weren't there. I think there are some women warriors. Maybe they are. I honestly don't know Viking history. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know except for like television. But in the Greek mythology, I just thought of myself as Wonder Woman or Xena.
Right.
So that's why I was really okay with being a woman, because I was like, yeah. And plus, she really just looked the part. Like
absolutely,
that
especially
woman.
once you put that stuff on her.
Yeah,
made her look like Wonder Woman.
So I was like, hell yeah, I'm Xena or Wonder Woman. That's what I am. I was like, yeah, I'm just. So that's really what it is. Like, if this was like another Assassin's Creed from a different time, I would easily have picked a woman, probably. It's just that Vikings always think of more manly and dirty. And I don't really like my woman dirty. Not in that way. In other ways.
Oh, good Lord.
You know? All right. So, anything else about this game to talk about? Overall, yes, I think it's a good game. It has some weaknesses in the story that I didn't like. Overall, it's okay. I wonder how people who are just fans of the story, how they feel about this one. Like, they like the anime stuff, especially.
Yeah.
How they feel about this. And I don't know what they go on from here. I wonder what's the next big Assassin's Creed going to be, like where it's going to take place, and out of the anime stuff. Oh, you do technically see, spoiler, Desmond, but as his new entity, because it does sound like Nolan North, and I think somebody said, "Oh, that's Desmond." And I said,
weird.
"Oh, okay."
So he's a new thing, huh? He transcended.
Yeah, he's like, because he's something, but because he helped save the Earth. They talk about that, and now you're trying to stop something else that's going wrong, and what just people are thinking is like that's Ragnarok is happening in today's world, and so because there's something going on with the tectonic magnetism, Earth science shit. I don't know, but it sounds like it's something cool, but I'm not gonna get my hopes up because I thought it was gonna be something cool happening in the previous trilogy. Or, I mean, not counting the 2 games that were pretty good, but, I mean, the previous, like, overarching trilogy, like Assassin's Creed 1 through 3, I thought it was going to be something cool, like, oh, we're going to get a game, we're playing, like, real time, and Desmond, because he learned all these things from the Animus, and nah, that's not how they wanted to go. And, I mean, I see, okay, but I just thought, like, maybe one, like, not that the whole game is, like, you're in current time, but, like, part of the game you are, like, you're in the Animus shit, whatever time period, and then there's a part of the game where, okay, we gotta take care of the Templars. See, but then I guess they didn't want to end the game. Even though it's not really end of the game, you can just always say, like, oh, somebody lived, then now they're doing something new. But I don't like how the previous game ended. It was for me, it was very anticlimactic. Yeah. It didn't feel good with that game. And the whole thing with Desmond killing that woman, that just seemed, I don't know why it was shocking. It wasn't shocking. It was just like, why? It don't make sense. And they say, oh, she was a Templar. I said, what? Okay, whatever. But yeah, this game was pretty good, though. This game is all right. All right, so here's the other games I played. I played the Yakuza Like a Dragon. I played a little bit of that. I am in a new city right now, and I'm homeless.
Oh, no.
So I'm living amongst the homeless. And with one of the homeless, he was teaching me how to find money by looking under vending machines. And you had to go look under vending machines to find coins. And that's exactly what I was doing. That's all I did. All right. What else have I done? Now, I play with the Xbox Cloud, because I got your account. I can't get my own account because I don't have Game Pass. I just share it with you.
I don't know what you're talking about, Dominic. I don't know what you're talking about. Sorry, Microsoft.
But, so I used the Xbox Cloud. First time I tried to do it, I couldn't get my controller to work. Then I just tried the next day. It worked. So it's not something, I didn't change anything. I guess it's just a glitch. For a reason why it wasn't working. I have no idea why it wasn't working. And I just started playing random games. Like, I picked some sports games because I was like, oh, let's see how the load times are. And they are faster. They are a lot faster. I played some baseball. It looks a whole lot better, too, than what I got on my base Xbox.
Yeah.
I was like, damn. But it sucks because I built my character up on my base Xbox. So even I wanted to play on yours, I'm like, I got to start over again. So, I don't know. I might still do that, Dan, because those load times, oh my God, they're so fast compared to the base Xbox. Because it's like, I'm just right in the game. I was like, oh yes, I love this. I can get through shit faster.
Yeah.
I wish there was more fighting games up here. The only ones up here is Injustice 2. The load times were faster than base Xbox, but it's not as fast as I wanted to be. Like, I was thinking, like, bam, I'm in a fight. I didn't feel that way. I still see the bar moving. I don't want to see that bar to move, Dan. I want it to be like, bam, I click, start fight, you go. Now, what game was it? Where I'm trying to remember the game that they show things during the load screen that I played. Because I was like, oh man, they need to make it so that you have to press a button to continue because I can't see it anymore. Because the screen loads too fast. I'm trying to remember the game. Forza loads really fast, but it doesn't, for me, I wasn't impressed with the visuals on it.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, like Gears, I saw the difference in visuals from a base Xbox. Okay. Forza, I couldn't tell as much. I mean, I guess technically, it can look but so much better because it looks really great,
right,
on the base. But I don't know, man. I felt like it should be more. It should be a lot better than that. Maybe I'll look at it again. Halo. Did I play Halo? I tried to. That's when my controller wasn't working, so I couldn't play that. I'm trying to think of another game I tried out to play. I can't remember. I did try Madden, but then I realized, this isn't Madden 21. This is only Madden 20. So I was seeing, like, because I always wanted to know, is the Game Pass version of Madden 21, if you got the Xbox Series X, are you getting the new one?
Right. Yeah. You would hope so.
No, I think you are. No, my fault. I mean 2K, because 2K, you had to pay more. You had to get the whatever edition,
the Black Mamba edition or whatever, right?
Yeah, you had to get that to get it, and I think Game Pass is only the base edition. I was like, oh man, but the load times are fast, but the visuals, they look cleaner. They do look cleaner, but they don't look like the visuals I saw for next gen.
Gotcha. Like
they still look like old gen, just a little smoother, sharper, I guess. But the load times, they were faster though. Madden, I don't know why. I guess that is not on xCloud, Madden 21, because it is on Game Pass technically, because of EA Play, but it's not on the xCloud because I wanted to see what that looked like, and I couldn't. So, but yeah, overall xCloud, if it's working, it seems to be okay. Now I played one game multiplayer. I forgot to put up here. I just remembered now. I have to look for the title because I don't remember what it was. Okay, it's called. The game I played was called Gang Beasts.
Okay, yeah, that game's fun.
Yeah, oh, you played it?
Yeah, a little bit. I've also watched it be played on like Giant Bomb and stuff a lot.
Oh, okay. Like, what year did it come out?
It's been out for a while now. I think it was in early access for a long time, but it's got to have been like 3 or 4 years maybe that it's been out.
Oh, you played it years ago?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so Gang Beasts is on Game Pass now, and I tried it out. Yeah, I never heard of it. And yeah, it is sort of fun. I mean, it's like flimsy controls because it's that's the point, like, is to be that way. Almost kind of reminds me of like Octodad or something like that, but you're fighting these other guys in the game. I couldn't play any other game modes because the server, like they said, it was like server messed up or something. But the only game mode I played was like the Rumble one where you kind of throw the guys off and make them fall. And I actually recorded some of that, and it was fun playing again. I never won. Every time I always got second sometimes. The one time I didn't know where the guy was. He was hiding, I guess, in a part, because that's the bad thing about the game is the camera.
Yeah.
Because the camera won't change. Like it won't move out so I can see where everybody else is. So I'm thinking I was the last one because I threw somebody on the train tracks and the train hit him. And it hit me too, but luckily I didn't go through where you die. And I came out and said, yay! And then I was like, where's the other guy? And then I think I fell on the train tracks and it just killed me. And he came down and then he won. And I said, that's bullshit. He didn't even do anything. So, and a lot of times when I throw people off, I throw myself off. So we just go down. And that's what I start doing. I say, you know what? I don't care. Because I'm just going to take somebody with me. So you're going to lose with me. And that's what I do. I just try to fall off. It is funny playing it. Like, Game Beast is like you play these, like, blobby, plushy characters. And, like I said, the movement is kind of like out there. Like, it's very clumsy. You're moving. And like you have a punch button, which the punches sometimes don't land. You gotta really get in position to land them, to knock them out. For they can at least be dazed for a little bit. You could probably pick them up and throw them. Then you have to pick a button where you can pick people up. You got a jump button. You got a kick button. So it is just like, imagine like people in like big like mascots who can barely move fighting each other, you know? Or something. Or people in those fat man suits, or big sumo wrestler, floaty suits, and you're trying to fight somebody. That's what kind of like it is.
Yeah.
And it's fun. It is fun doing that. It is crazy. And yeah, and I enjoyed it. That's the only multiplayer game I played on the cloud, Xbox Cloud, and it worked for the most part, except for the time, like I said, when I was trying to get to I was trying to play the football one, so I never got a chance to play that one. And it's only multiplayer, because I didn't see, when I tried to play single player, is it local or something? I was just the only one there.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh. Yeah. I said, well, that sucks. It's pretty cool. Hey, it's on Game Pass, so try it out. So it worked for the most part. So now my computer is somewhat far away from my router, so I think sometimes I did see it, like say, oh, my connection wasn't strong. But then I think a lot of times it didn't do that. So I don't know what's up with that. It shouldn't matter, because even though I'm somewhat far, I should be enough distance that I get good connection. I mean, I play these other games online and I don't have a problem. Excuse me. It works, but I just tried it yesterday to play the cloud, and my controller don't work again. So I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know why it works. That's sometimes weird. It works. Now, it works in the menu, but then when I click on the game, it doesn't register my controller when I'm in the game. And so I don't know what's happening with that, or why did it work the last time. It's got to be something on their part, because like I said, I didn't change a damn thing. What else have I played? A new game came out this week called Curved Space. I talked about this a year ago on Idea Xbox Summer Game Fest they had last year. So this is a game where it's like an arcade shooter. We're in a spaceship. There actually is a story to this. Like, there wasn't really much of a story in the demo from last year, and there's voice acting. But I don't understand what the story is. I have no idea. Like, I don't know why this girl is trying to shoot these spider monsters or absorb their energy. I don't know, but it seemed like it's some kind of dimensional thing, because at one point it was 3 of her and there were different colors, and you had to choose like which asteroid or something to go to fight the next group of baddies. And I was like, okay, there's something to this, I guess, but I just don't know. The game is okay. Like, so you're on like a planet, kind of like you were saying, like Mario Galaxy, when you're kind of on that rotating world, or like those Ratchet and Clank levels they have. I remember playing them on the PlayStation 2. When you're kind of on this orbital, like, asteroid or plane, like, you could go on all sides. And it looks cool. And shooting the bugs, it feels alright. It's like a really fast-paced shooter where you shoot bugs, you keep picking up new weapons, different type of weapons, like all kinds. And then sometimes make yourself get specials where your weapons are stronger. And the whole point, like, you shoot the enemies, and then at some point you have to drain their power. Like, you have to get the power, and I guess this is for reasons you hit each this power. I don't know. Maybe this is a source of energy. Like, you take it from the spiders. Like, there's a button where you can tether them to some control point, and it kind of sucks the power from those enemies. And you can use that tether as a ability too. Like, you tether them to you, and you do a dodge into them, and you kind of like take a lot of power off or kill them instantly. All depends how strong they are or you are. And then you have big bosses. Each stage you get like a big boss that they look pretty cool. And the problem is with this is it gets a little tedious at times. And also I wish it was actually a little faster. Like, I wish it was a little bit faster. Like, I think it's a little it's not slow, but it just feels like I wish I could get to a point on the map. Like, I wish it was a boost. Really. I mean, I guess the dodge is somewhat of a boost, but I don't know. And like I said, I wish there was a little more variety too. Maybe there are later on in the game variety of more enemies, but from what I read, it doesn't seem as much. I mean, the bosses are very different, but so far I have only seen the same group of enemies. And I just feel like there's potential for a little more variety in that. Like, from what it sounds like, I'm just going to be doing the same thing throughout these maps. I don't know how long this game is. I mean, the music is good. The vibe seems pretty good. But it's not like a great game or nothing. It seems okay. It seems like an okay game. Like, $20? I can see that. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, $20. Yeah, because with the soundtrack, it's $25.98. So $20. It seems like that's a decent price for this game. But it's an alright game. But you know what? You don't have to just buy this. There's a demo out for it.
That's good.
And I think the demo's still on Xbox. For last time, cause I just deleted it like maybe months ago. So there's a demo for you can try to see if you like it, because you might get disoriented the way it is. So, like, if you're the type of person who get like sick from like that like going around that kind of rotation, because the camera is really, because the way the planes are on the maps, like you're kind of on like a short, it's like almost like a small planet. You imagine like on a small round ball, and you're just attached. You go all around, and the camera kind of follows you really quirky like. So you really have to try it out. But I mean, I like the game. I enjoy it. But yeah, it just has its problems. But hey, you can try it out. It's a demo. All right. Did I play anything else? Oh, Ratchet and Clank. I played a little bit of Ratchet and Clank Tools of Destruction on the PlayStation 3. Hooked up my PlayStation 4 controller to it. But then I realized when I got to the point where I had to use a 6-axis, I thought the PlayStation 4 had a 6-axis. I guess
it does, but it might just not be compatible using it with the PS3.
And then my Ratchet died, and then I had to turn it off, because you can turn it off, but it said like certain weapons use 6-axis. So I was like, so I gotta get that. I got my old crappy PlayStation 3 controller right here too, because first I had that, and then I was like, I forgot the PlayStation 4 controller does work with the PS3. But now I'm saying like, oh man, I forgot they got 6-axis required shit, and I gotta use this crappy old PlayStation 3 controller. God, that thing feels horrible. Because when I was playing that game with it, I was like, Jesus Christ, man, this does not feel good. All right, man. So I guess that's it for me. So I guess we'll take a break, and when we get back, we get to the flashback segment, and we're back. Now, we're in the flashback segment, new month, Daniel. So, it wasn't only many games to come out in the first few days of July. So, next week I have some games. So I'm just going to jump into what we do every month at the beginning of the month. We do the covers of magazines from 10 years ago, 20 years ago, some maybe 30 years or 25 years ago. But we're starting with 2011. So 10 years ago, we got PC Gamer. And PC Gamer had Mass Effect 3 on the cover, baby.
Oh yeah.
This is like my most anticipated game after Mass Effect 2. That was my most anticipated game within. Yes, this game. Oh, also, this is the world's #1 PC game magazine.
Of course, yes.
This game, I mean, we know about the game when it came out, and the game is fine. The game's fine. It's just the ending wasn't great. I still like the game. But before that, I mean, I just cannot wait. I cannot wait to finally see the story, how this ends, how this journey ends, fighting the Reapers, seeing old characters like Ashley, because that was my love interest in one of my games.
Yeah.
I had Kate alive in one game, but I didn't really care about him. But getting to play with Liara again, and what else we got here? Getting to play with Rex a little bit. I mean, just a little bit. He was kind of there, but he wasn't in your party. But seeing the gang that you missed out on. You didn't really see much of them in 2. You might saw them in like a little side story or something. But seeing your old crew again, this game is more like the new crew from 2 was what the old crew from 1 was in 2. Because they didn't really join you. You just like did some missions that they possibly were there. It all depends how your decisions from the previous game affected this game. Which I think, for the time, it was all right. It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool, like, seeing, what I did from game 1, even the first game, like with the Arachnite Queen. If you kept her alive, she was still around. I don't remember what happens if you killed her. What happens at that point? Was there another Arachnite, or was it just nothing?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember. And if you kept people alive from your final mission, which, I didn't realize how hard it was. I mean, the way that people described it about saving the whole crew on Mass Effect 2. Like, some people was like, man, I lost this person. I was like, darn, man, it seemed very easy just to keep everybody alive for me. I had to try to figure out how to kill people for my second playthrough, because I was like, I want to see what happens when people die. And I did. I saw how, like, the ships explode or something, and you just see somebody disappear. So, we lost this guy. So, no. But, yeah, my crew, everybody lived. But, yeah, this game, I couldn't wait for it. I couldn't wait for it. And it says up here, Mass Effect 3, you knew it was coming. You didn't expect this. The crappy ending. I guess they were talking about the crappy ending.
Exactly.
They knew about it in PC Game before it came out. What else we got here? They got here on the bottom, step-by-step guide. Get 46 pieces of Guild Wars 2 loot right now. Ooh, I should have told my dad that, because he did have that game for a bit. Gaming laptops, the rig roundup that's going to save you $915 inside. Oh, there we go.
Just has to spend $3,000 to save $915.
Dire Wolves. Can you survive a Game of Thrones? What the? I don't know what that is.
Game of Thrones didn't exist back then, Dominic.
No, it didn't. I wouldn't know what the fuck they were talking about, damn. Because I did not know about the book. So I wouldn't know what the hell they were talking about. Darn. All right. So now we're going to the next one. This is Xbox Game Magazine 10 years ago. Batman Arkham City on the cover. Exclusive, hands-on. And darn, yeah, it's just Arkham City. And we got, look at Batman. I used to like those cover arts, like those like posters, whatever I see, like Batman, Joker, Catwoman. They look cool.
Yeah.
You also got Mass Effect 3, the breathtaking final chapter begins. Yep, this is when everybody was getting Mass Effect 3 news. Mm-hmm. Silent Hill downpour, dripping with fear and horror. Are games art? The experts weigh in. Yes, I never heard this talked about before.
Never. Besides our second podcast. Go back. Listen to our second podcast.
All right, so what I can say about back by Arkham City. New villains, killer gadgets, and never before seen areas revealed. Oh, they're spoiling it, Daniel. They're spoiling the game.
Who would have thought they would have new villains?
Forza 4, Ninja Gaiden 3, and Tomb Raider. We're on 7, man. This is 4. All right. What else we got here? We got PlayStation Magazine, the competition. Well, it's not really competition because it's the same company that does both. It's the PlayStation official magazine, and we got the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim Road exclusive. PlayStation got it, and they got the worst version of it. That's what's funny. That's what's funny. That they get the freaking exclusive screens and shit on this magazine. They got the worst version of the game. Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, bigger and better than Oblivion. True. Definitely was. And see, at this time, people didn't realize this game was going to be released 1 billion times over. Also got Uncharted 3, BioShock Infinite. Oh man, we getting BioShock Infinite news. Twisted Metal. This is before the PS3's Twisted Metal game? Oh, the game that I was kind of excited for, but then it turned out to be not good. Tomb Raider. Starhawk. Oh, Starhawk. I remember Starhawk. What happened to Starhawk?
It came out and didn't sell, so nobody cared.
But it was something special about Starhawk, Daniel. And Starhawk is apparently an American author. I'm going to have to put video game. And it's some older woman. She wrote the Spiral Dance. Go read it. All right.
Will do.
There was something. Oh, Starhawk. I think it combined with Warhawk. Like Warhawk was like the airships and spaceships, I guess. And then Starhawk was like the ground, right? The ground guys.
I don't remember.
Oh,
I remember Warhawk, but I don't remember Starhawk as much.
Yeah. See, I remember them talking about that. Like, it says the most notable change from Warhawk is the addition of single-player story mode, which was intended to be included in Warhawk, but was eventually moved. The gameplay is similar to Warhawk. A new system called Build and Battle allows players to build structures such as bunkers, defenses, and armories in the midst of battle, giving the game a real-time strategy feel while remaining a third-person shooter. The game includes flying mechs called Hawks. A player respawns into a landing craft which they can steer with a limited range to reach the battlefield. Like Warhawk, there's a 32-player online battle. Starhawk also has cooperative mode, similar to the concept of Horde mode in Gears of War franchise. Reception, the game was currently holds 77 Metacritic, indicating generally favorable. IGN gave it a 9 out of 10. Darn. But the Game Informer gave it a 7.5 out of 10. So that's IGN got paid, Daniel. It's just... But yeah, I remember it's like, they were talking about connection with Warhawk. And it's like they wanted to... I remember, I don't know if they ever did it. I remember, like, I was looking at G4, and they were saying how they wanted to be, like, combine Warhawk and Starhawk, where, like, you're on the ground and Starhawk doing things lower right, like people up in the sky doing things in their crafts. And it sounded great, but I don't know how well executed it was, or even if it was. But yeah. I don't know. I'm trying to remember, did the guy we worked with and Target guy, 'cause I remember we were talking about it. I don't know if you ever got it or not. All right. Last magazine for 2011 I got here is Game Informer's. Beautiful art, man. Like, I like this cover. It's of Darksiders 2.
Yeah.
Where you're playing as Death. And I was really looking forward to this game also. Because I like Darksiders 1. I was willing to Darksiders 1. I was like, oh, cool, man. And then the way it ended, I was like, oh man, the other three horsemen are coming. And I was, for some reason in my brain, I just kept thinking like, oh, they might make it multiplayer or something because there's other three horsemen. And no, that's not the case. But I was really disappointed by that. But I was like, oh, so you're playing this death this time. Okay. It's been interesting. But it didn't get like really high reviews. It didn't get terrible reviews. It just was like, I just saw like average scores or even lower scores in the first one. Like I didn't see people like it as much as I thought they would. Like I was really expecting like, oh man, they're really going to make a so much better game, because how people were talking about how Darksiders was pretty cool, the Cruise Zelda-like game, like God of War and Zelda put together or something. And I was like, okay, they're going to build upon this hype they had, like people loved about this game. But it just became to be like a decent game. And I played it. I mean, it was okay, but it wasn't great or anything. I didn't finish it. I kind of always said I wanted to go back. But then when 3 came out, I was like, okay, maybe I'll go back to 2 because 3 might be pretty good. But then 3 was really, really mediocre. It was worse than all of them. And I was like, now I kind of don't care about the story anymore. Yeah. So I just fell off. But this was really anticipated at the time. People were like, because they really enjoyed the first one.
Yeah, I mean, that first one was compared to Zelda, you know?
Yeah, exactly. It was very much a surprise. And it was like Zelda, because like when I heard that, I said, let me try this game out. And I played through it, I said, oh my goodness, it kind of is. It kind of is. I'm going to say this right here. It's better than Breath of the Wild. You heard it here first, and only probably.
I don't know. Jim Sterling might say it too.
Yeah. All right, so now we're going back 20 years, Dan, to 2001. And we're going to the unofficial PlayStation magazine, which has Spidey on PS2.
Oh, yeah.
On the front. The first look of it, plus Spider-Man 2 for the PlayStation 1. First hands-on preview. And that game was, I mean, I enjoyed it. I don't know if it's a good game or not, but I enjoyed the PlayStation 1 one. I think I still like the first one better. All right. Also, they got PlayStation 2 Secret Weapon, Jak and Daxter. Yes, I really wanted this game. I got it, too, for Christmas. I got this game. I was really looking forward to this because I remember looking at the demo disc on one of the PlayStation magazines I had, and it had like a little mini documentary thing about the making of the game. And they were saying how it was a seamless world. Like it's really no loading. Like the only loading is at the very beginning. So, you know what? That tells me, Daniel, that was always kind of a thing that Naughty Dog and Insomniac sort of did. Like, yeah. I never noticed long loading in their games, except for the beginning. Like when they're loading up usually all the assets and stuff. But at the beginning. But after that, it seems to run all right. I mean, after that. Like, I never had to wait for more loading in their games. And Jak and Daxter was like a seamless world. And this was, to me, this boggled my mind, because I never thought of that. I never played a game like that. Like, I always play like a Mario game. You got a little mini world, and then, you jump out the picture, and you go to another world.
Right.
Another stage, or whatever you want to call it. But in Jak and Daxter, it's all connected. Like, you can walk from here, and you walk to the other part of the world. I mean, the island or something, wherever you have to go to. And it's huge. It was beautiful. I mean, that game was beautiful at the time. Like, I was like, man, this is my Mario 60. I thought it was going to be like, this is my Mario 64 for this game. Because, like, it looks beautiful. It looks, like, gorgeous. I mean, the character looked cool. And, like, I guess, and the combat looked okay. Like, it was like a cool platformer. And it was. I really enjoyed that game from beginning to end. Maybe it got hard when I was like playing the later bosses, but I eventually beat it. And they really changed it up in the sequel, though. Like, they went, like, he wasn't I was happy he can talk now. He wasn't just a silent protagonist. But it got too a little violent. And I was like, oh, you're scaring me. But yeah, they went I guess they said, yeah, we got to get extreme, man, for the teenagers. But I was like, hey, I like the cutesy stuff. Because I play, like, look, all my other games are extreme. I need something to like mellow back on.
Right.
You know? I mean, I still enjoy it. I still like the Jack series overall. Like, it's still fun. And it was still good. I still like enjoy it overall. Though I didn't mind that first one. Like, I like the tone of the first one.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, what else they got on this cover, Dan? We got Gran Turismo 3, best racer ever. And I thought so too, even though I couldn't play this game worth shit. I thought it was the best racer. I just thought I sucked. Which is true for both counts, probably. It is a great racer at the time, and I just suck at playing it. Because controlling realistic cars is not my thing. I like to just hold the gas and brake every now and then, but not. If I brake more than 4 times, I feel like that's too hard for me. I can't do that. All right, what else they say here? They got here, Gotta See Games, Tony Hawk 3, 007, Age Under Fire.
Not so much.
I think, is that the game my friend had? And I think we said, yeah, it sucks. Tsushima Black, talked about that. Red Faction, and Dark Cloud, the Zelda killer. All right. All right, what else we got? We got Next Gen Magazine, which the game I just talked about a ton of. Jack and Dexter. I should have saved it for this cover, Daniel, because this is Jack and Dexter on the front. The Precursors Legacy. Are these PS2's next superstars?
Sure
yeah,
are.
They became PS2. Yeah,
yeah.
Them and Ratchet. The definitive Game Boy Advance launch guide. Oh, and also best E3 ever. The complete report.
It's just crazy that we
Xbox.
haven't seen a Jack and Daxter since the PS2.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like Ratchet is the only one that kept continuing.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. What other series on PlayStation 2 has continued on? But God of War.
Yeah.
God of War, Ratchet and Clank.
Sly Cooper got like another game, but
it got a PS3 game.
Yeah. So it got further than
Jack
Jack and Daxter, at least.
Yeah, it did. But they didn't have as many games as Jack and Daxter, though. Jack and Daxter had more games on the PlayStation 2 because they had that racer game. I don't know. You know what? Maybe it's just one more game they had more than them. So now they're tied. Not counting the HD collections. I'm trying to think. No, there's another spinoff. Oh, well, technically the PSP game. The Daxter game. Oh, I'm guessing you have me on mute because she's crying because I don't hear you responding.
Sorry, what? I can't even hear
you didn't hear me?
Just that last part. I heard you talking about the games. Just didn't hear what you said.
Okay.
Now.
I was guessing you had me on mute because I was like, I didn't hear you responding. Yeah.
Yeah. She's awake. Needless to say.
I didn't feel like she went to sleep long. All right.
She never does. It's usually like 45 minutes at most.
She take power naps. Best E3 ever. Okay, they talk about the Xbox and GameCube launch info. PS2 goes online. Oh, yes. This is like talking about online gaming with the consoles, Dad. This is the early stages of it.
Oh, yeah. Give me some Fantasy Star Online and my broadband adapter.
I was like, I didn't think it was going to be a thing, Daniel. Because I was like, man, none of people have broadband adapters. This ain't going to never be a thing. I didn't know the future.
I think Tony Hawk 2 had online for the PlayStation, right? Something like that.
What'd you say?
Said Tony Hawk 2, I think, had online for the PlayStation 2. Or maybe it was just 3. It might have been 3.
I thought it was just the Xbox one. No, the Xbox Tony Hawk. Because Tony Hawk 2 did come to the Xbox.
Yeah, it was X.
I think that was the one that got online.
Gotcha.
And then they went for 3. Because I think 3... Yeah. Because Xbox didn't get 3 yet. Because Xbox didn't come out yet. 3 came out on the PlayStation 2, while Xbox got Tony Hawk 2, but it had online.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome new PC games. All right, and wait a minute. Okay, next gen. Okay, I'm thinking on PlayStation Magazine because I guess it's Jack and Dexter. I was like, why are you talking PC? Also, they reviewed Gran Turismo 3, Red Faction, Tribes 2, Myst 3, Ill Bleed. All right. So what else we got here? I skipped the Game Pro, man. Okay, I knew I skipped something. All right, Game Pro for July 2001. We have Sonic and 2 Adventures on the front. One of the last big Dreamcast games. And they also got a lot of the junk. They got the Game Boy Advance on the front. And Sonic the Hedgehog screens on the Game Boy Advance. That's crazy. Sonic on a Nintendo console, Daniel? No. Never happened. This should not happen. The Game Boy Advance arrives. Super Mario Advance, Castlevania Circle of the Moon, Fire Pro Wrestling, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. No, that's a... Were these all launch games? Or they were just games coming? I think they were launch or very close to it, at least. Yeah. I mean, Game Boy Advance had a pretty good launch. 100 plus games inside, including Crazy Taxi 2, Red Faction, Twisted Metal Black, Dark Cloud, NBA Street, the best arcade basketball game ever. PC Game Pro has Tribes 2, Barter Gates 2, Thrones of Ball. Oh, we just talked about that. Thrones of Ball. All right. And we got here Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 up top, man. And I can't read this little thing up here. What does this thing say? 3.4 million what? I can't read it. Oh, read by 3.4 million gamers. Oh, okay. Matt Hoffman's Pro BMX, Gran Turismo 3. And I see something with Half-Life, Blue Shift. Okay. Oh, Zona Enders. Bonus Metal Gear Solid 2 Trial Edition Mini Strategy. Well, they got a strategy of how to beat the trial game. So that's good. All right. So now where I'm at, Dan, I am at the, whatever this is, Electronic Gaming Monthly. And they have the Game Boy Advance on front. Game Boy Advance, every launch game reviewed, plus can it survive a toilet flush? Okay. They are asking the important questions. Can this survive a toilet flush? Because I do have those problems with my handheld. All right. Siphon Filter 3 unveiled. Screens and info inside. GameCube Star Wars. You won't believe your eyes. Pokemon Crystal. First U.S. screens. Oh, Pokemon Crystal. Oh, yeah, that was a huge game.
Yeah. I feel like I remember I had this one because of all the Game Boy Advance and the Pokemon Crystal stuff. I was like, I need that magazine.
Oh, yeah. Did you have problems with your Game Boy in the toilet?
Did I have problems with my Game Boy in the toilet? Can it survive a flush? I think I was good with not getting it in the toilet. So.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. Final Fantasy and Tomb Raider, behind the scenes of these summer flicks.
Oh, no, thank you.
And I was so anticipating these two movies, Daniel.
Yeah.
Like, I went to see them the first weekend, me and my friend. Final Fantasy. Well, we see Final Fantasy. I think that came out. I forgot what came out first. But I've never seen Final Fantasy in theaters. Mm-hmm. Tomb Raider, I didn't go see because I think I was so pissed off with Final Fantasy, I just didn't care anymore. Like, I was so wanting to see this movie. I see some rare things about it. I said, yes, I'm going to see this. Final Fantasy, the movie. I came home disappointed. My mom was like, what's wrong? I said, man, this movie sucked.
Definitely wasn't the Final Fantasy you expected to be.
No.
If they had just released Advent Children instead of this movie, I think people would have been a lot happier.
I would have been a lot happier, even though I wouldn't understand what the fuck was going on, but I would have been happy.
Oh, yeah. Nobody knows what's going on, but it's like the Final Fantasy that you know, at least.
And then it's like the action was good. This, I can't even think what was like at least a cool scene.
Yeah. Did they have like military battles at some point?
Like, I'm just thinking like, it looks real, but y'all didn't do anything.
Yeah.
All right. So what we got here, Dan? Is that it? Did I finish this? No, I got one more. I got Game Informer.
Yeah.
Oh, I had this magazine. And I remember a lot of this magazine. Because I remember reading this, like walking to the store. I think I was walking to the Warrior Farms that was like in my neighborhood. Mm. And like, I'll be reading my walking. You shouldn't do that, people. But I didn't care.
Fell in a manhole, died, and then had a whole movie about me.
But I remember reading this magazine because I remember like looking up the GameCube and the Game Boy Advance because I think I was at the point of reading the Game Boy Advance. I was like, I kind of wanted it because I was like, man, these games. I didn't realize no backlight though, because I was thinking like, man, these games look good, and I say I gotta get this. I might have to get this system, and you can connect it to the GameCube. I say I might have to get this. So I was getting a little jealous too of the GameCube. I was like, all these games, look how good Luigi's scared of ghosts. I mean, that looks cool, and the potential Zelda. And Mario, and look at the stitches on Mario's overalls. I remember they talked about that.
I remember being super impressed by that stuff. Seeing that on the Smash Brothers, like, wow, look at that.
I know. I said, this is so real. That is a real Mario.
And it's funny seeing that Samus render. That's from like the early Prime, like alphas or whatever. But I don't. What is that Star Fox from? Is that also from Smash Brothers, I guess?
Maybe Smash. But you know what? No, they did the Dinosaur Planet.
I was going to say, was that Dinosaur Planet, I guess? Wow.
But you know what? It was still Dinosaur Planet then, right? I was
going to say, it feels too early for that. Wasn't it?
Actually, by now, they changed it, right? Because Dinosaur Planet was supposed to come on the 64.
Yeah.
So I think by now, we realize it's going to be Star Fox Adventures.
Man,
I'm not sure.
I want a new Star Fox Adventures game, Dominic. I'm the only person.
I didn't finish the game that you gave me of it.
Yeah.
I didn't finish. I can't really get a comment to say that your opinion of that game was wrong.
Well, at least there's that. At least you can't tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah. All right. So this is the massive. Let me talk the big news. Star Fox leads the GameCube invasion. So yeah, it's got to be the Star Fox adventure game.
I can't remember how long that Smash came out after the GameCube launched. I feel like it was a while though, at least.
Yeah, I mean, Nintendo games used to always get delayed.
Yeah.
In these times, they always got delayed a lot. So yeah, I think I saw that. Yeah, it was. I remember this. Yeah, it was Star Fox Adventures in this magazine, Dan. Because I remember reading it in this one. Because I was getting a little jealous of the GameCube. I was like, yo, they getting some good looking games here, man. But I said, nope, PlayStation's better. PlayStation's better. I'm good. Like they showed off the Star Fox there. I remember they showed off Smash. Now Smash, you know what? I never did get on that game with the N64. Even though it was really popular among people. I was never one of those people. Because I never got the game. I don't know what it was. I don't know why that game. Even though I remember the commercial. It played that Beatles song or something from N64. And them like those big people in like Mario costume, a Pikachu costume,
so happy
a Yoshi. They were kind of fighting each other.
Yeah.
I used to like the commercial, but I did not care about the game whatsoever. I don't know. I think I was so up PlayStation's ass that I didn't give a shit what was coming on Nintendo 64 anymore. Like, I was just invested in that console. Like, I would just look up, like, okay, the last game I'm going to play is just Ocarina of Time, and fuck anything else after that. and that's basically what it was. Like, Ocarina of Time was the last big game I got on the N64. The next game I got was Star Wars, the Pod Racer, because my sister got me that for my birthday. So, yeah, and so Smash never registered me as great until I played it on the GameCube. I played it on N64 at somebody's place because I hated that damn freaking controller of N64.
Yeah.
But now I realize I was holding it wrong. That's why I hate the controls of that game. I was like, but what's the punch button? That's like, why am I using the C buttons for goddamn moves? I was like, this is stupid. That's like, I hated it. But when I played it on the GameCube finally, I think it was like a video game club or something. Somebody had it. And shucks, man. I was like, man, this game is cool as shit. I was like, this is fun. And I was like, man, I like Smash. So Melee was really what got me into Smash. All right. Let's say, plus some Game Boy Advance launch guide. Yeah, they had a lot of stuff for Game Boy Advance in this magazine also. And they got some massive PS2 and Xbox coverage inside too. I don't remember what it was. I mean, come on. This was like 20 years ago. I'm surprised I remember this shit. All right. I think that's it for 2001. Did I miss anything? Nope. So now I got one for 30 years ago. A magazine for 30 years ago. Nintendo Power had on the front this little gem. Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Oh, boy.
It's the game based off the hit Robin Hood movie. The best Robin Hood to come out in 1991. All right. Yep, with Kevin Costner, Morgan Freeman, Kevin Slater, Sean Connery, and others.
Yep, and others, yes.
And I wanted the game got a better review than the movie.
The
movie was
that would actually be pretty funny.
Also, you got Game Boy, Altered Space, and Roger Rabbit. I know Roger Rabbit. I don't know what Altered Space is.
It's like Altered Beast, but with space monsters.
Oh, okay. And contests. Win a trip to pick up your Super Nintendo. Oh my God!
I gotta go to Japan to pick it up from Miyamoto himself.
Yeah, I gotta get that Super Nintendo, Dan. And this magazine has the official Nintendo seal of approval.
Ah, beautiful.
Quality. All right. So that is it for the flashback segment. So I guess we'll take a quick break. When we get back, we get to the gaming news.
All right.
And we're back. Let's get to the gaming news. So what we got, Dan?
All right, Dominic, you were telling me about this, but last week we talked about the GoldenEye maps that a user had created for Far Cry 5 and how they had been delisted by Ubisoft after MGM basically sent them a letter saying cease and desist. Sounds like they are back up on there. You can find them by searching for things like Golden Cry and I think like Perfect Dark something. So that's pretty cool. I mean, we talked about it a little bit last week, but what could it have been about these levels? Like they're not using
Was it
their
called
assets.
GoldenEye?
Yeah.
I don't know what the name of it. Was it called GoldenEye? That's why? Then that's obvious.
Yeah. But even then, I mean, like, I guess you could say like, hey, this is too close to our thing. But in reality, like, did they need to do that? Of course they didn't.
No, they didn't. Because even then, what if, that's like, I don't know, like a username. What if a username is like GoldenEye something? Is that, I can't do that?
Yeah.
That'd be, like, just the name of the map.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't.
Don't tell the Bomberman people, Dominic. Don't snitch on me.
Maybe his title was GoldenEye from the movie GoldenEye. That was
by
a
the
game
same
on
name,
N64.
GoldenEye,
Yeah.
starring Pierce
title, so
Brosnan
specific.
from the MGM Corporation. Yeah, it just seems crazy because I mean, people are remaking stuff all the time in things like MGM. Why you got to be shitty? Also, isn't MGM just Amazon now? Amazon, why you being shitty? I think that's how that works, right? Although, in there like the family that owns James Bond, don't they like still own rights over? I don't know how that works. Anyway, it's good that stuff's back, Dom.
I thought the Queen owned it.
Yes, the Queen.
It was the Queen.
Yes, and if she dies, then Meghan Markle owns it, and then we're all going to hell in a handbasket, Dominic. All right, in some other news, Dominic, we got EA Play coming up this week, and it sounds like they're doing some events across several weeks of July, but nothing that sounds like too like, oh my God, this is when the news is going to be. So I guess we'll play it by ear as that stuff comes along. But BioWare has come out and basically said, don't expect anything regarding Dragon Age or Mass Effect at any of this.
Hey, who gives a shit?
Don't get your hopes up.
Damn.
So
that's what I wanted.
there are heavy rumors going around right now that there is basically a remake of Dead Space being worked on by EA.
Okay.
Obviously nothing confirmed, but that would, even if it's not something I'm looking forward to playing, and I think it would be cool depending on what it is. If from basically what I heard was like, oh, they saw Resident Evil remakes and said, "Oh, Capcom's making money off of that. We could do that same thing." If it's something like that, I'm excited just for the surprise aspect of it. I'm not.
Yeah.
I haven't really been expecting EA to come out with a Dead Space thing, and now there's that like spiritual successor that's being made elsewhere. So it would still be a cool surprise to go. Oh,
yeah,
hey,
it would be. But maybe some EA Sports talk about NCAA football. The players, hey, they finally can make money. Outside of college.
Yeah,
that's good.
What do those contracts then become? Are you?
I have no fucking idea, Daniel.
Are you getting like a top 5 players on each team, or top 1 player on?
It's very
a couple of teams?
I'll leave that for
EA's lawyers to figure out.
Yeah, I'll leave that for them. Because I don't know. Because I was thinking about that too. And then I said, you know what? I just, whatever. All I really wanted was that they can make money outside of college.
Yeah.
That's all I want. See, I don't think colleges don't have to pay them. That's not the thing. But they can make money outside of college.
Right. So now you could potentially actually have a star on the cover of NCAA who's an actual current NCAA player, right?
Yeah. Exactly. Even though I wouldn't. Cool. I will still just do someone who's in the NFL.
Yeah. Because you probably have access to them, and also that they're somewhat successful, and they aren't just going to disappear off the face of the earth.
Yeah.
Like, shit. Yeah. How do we get that guy on here? So, yeah.
But, yeah, hopefully I see something from that. What else has EA got?
Skate 4, maybe?
Oh, yeah. That's right. Yeah,
Battlefield. I'm sure they'll show off. But yeah,
tied a Tasmanian tiger game.
Yes, absolutely. They're coming back. Dip their toe in the water with the remake or remaster or whatever they released surprisingly a couple of years ago, and
they can just put the title "Titanfall 3 is coming."
They could do that and make people extremely excited and extremely angry at the same time.
Yeah, no, because we ain't gonna see it till 5 years from now.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know we're gonna see some more Battlefield.
Absolutely.
But that's not really something I'm interested in seeing more of. I'm trying to think. That's another franchise. I kind of do want to see Madden too, because I wasn't impressed with the new gen Madden graphics. I'm hoping they do something better this time.
And later in the month, I think it is, they're doing a Madden specific kind of stream, so they should have something for you there.
And maybe they can announce like a little bit of the baseball game.
Yeah, that would be
working on.
See what you got. See what you're working with.
And, maybe a surprise fight night. Fight night's coming back.
And now we're talking.
With Logan Paul on the front.
Oh, no. Oh, no. I take it back. Cursed.
They're going to have something say, look, we're going to have you can box streamers. They're going to have some streamers come on stage talking about the game. How you can box certain people. Markiplier boxing.
Is Markiplier. I hope Markiplier is not falling down the celebrity boxing hole.
Fighting PewDiePie, or that guy who plays the Fortnite games fights the other guy who plays the Fortnite games. They can fight each other. And those people, and maybe that girl from the bathtub streaming Twitch thing. Yeah. They can have and you can fight against the legends.
Yep.
They have Muhammad Ali fighting like Logan Paul.
Oh no!
And just ruin it. Just ruin everything. Just ruin boxing.
Is boxing officially dead now that like the biggest thing that's happening in boxing at any given time is whatever streamer is participating?
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Maybe. Yeah. But I'm the wrong guy, because I'm not a huge boxing guy.
Yeah.
You got to ask a real boxing guy.
Talk to Floyd Mayweather. All right, Dominic. In some other news, we got a Ghost of Tsushima is getting some DLC, some Ika Island expansion. So there's going to be a new island, new story, new lots of things. So hopefully that's like substantial for people that were having fun with that game. But along with that, there's going to be a PS5 version of that, as well as a PS4 version of that. It's going to be called the Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut, so that'll include all the DLC stuff and everything. And you're going to be able to do an upgrade, but there are going to be like weird steps and money involved here. So you got, if you bought the PS4 game, the original game, if you want to upgrade that to the PS5 Director's Cut, you got to pay $30. If you want to upgrade that to the PS4 Director's Cut, you got to spend $20. And if you want to upgrade the PS4 Director's Cut to the PS5 Director's Cut, that's another $10 there. So there is a path there, but you gotta spend some money. But it sounds like they're doing 4K with what they're calling targeting 60 frames per second. So I wonder if there's like a yes, I want 60 frames per second at 1080p or something like that setting maybe. But that's good. They had already done like the upgrade visually, I think, and kind of like a PS5 enhancements for that game. But it's cool to see that they're doing like a full expansion situation for it as well. Give it a little extra taste of PS5 longevity, I guess. So
yeah. The expansion that's not just exclusive to PS5, is it?
No, it's part of the PS4 Director's Cut as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
I mean, this is cool that they don't expand. I mean, even if it's not as big as like the Witcher 3 one, because that's probably like one of the best expansions.
Yeah.
Probably ever. Just seeing that, I think is pretty cool that they have one. They have something like this. I mean, I hope it's at least fulfilling for the fans. And I mean, one day I want to play this too.
Yeah, it does
but
seem
I want to
like
say
an
this.
alright game.
Yeah, but I want to say this about this whole price thing. This is what I hate about Sony and the way they done new gen. Is that I'm sorry. It should just be. It probably should be $20, and that's it. Director's cut.
Yeah.
PS4. I mean, or if you're upgrading from, like, I mean, getting to the director's cut is $10 if you're on within the same system. But if you want to go to PS5, it's $20. It's $20.
Yeah, it's weird when you get into like these middle steps and it's like, well, I have the director's cut on this system, but now I want it on this system, and now I gotta spend an extra $10, but I already spent $10 and then I spent $10 other dollars. It's just complicated
I just think that whole $30, like PS4 base to PS5 base, $30, man, kiss my ass. Like that's come on, man. Like you gotta. I'm sorry, you shouldn't charge them. Like if it's just a base, just let me play it.
Yeah, it feels like they're trying to get too much money out of it, right? Like, because if you're looking at it and it's what it's $10 to go from the PS4, or no. So yeah, I guess basically what they're trying to do here is PS4 to PS4 Director's Cut. So basically you buying the DLC is $20, but then they're still trying to take that cut of like, hey, next generation games are $10 more expensive than regular games. So then that's when you get into the $30, and it's like, you're trying to skim too much off the top here, buddy.
And this is from the first party company. Like, I expect this from a third party.
Yeah.
But I expect PlayStation to be very simple about this. Like, look, you got the base game, it works with your PS5. And then, if you want the DLC, if you got the base game, but you want the DLC, it's $20. That's it. And then it works on PS5.
Yeah. Yeah, because like I also don't know with like the PS5 enhancements that are already a part of that game. What's the difference between that and the PS5 quote unquote version, right? Like, are you locking some visual upgrades behind some paywall just because you're calling it a PS5 version now? And now I can't install it on my external hard drive. I have to install it on the internal hard drive to play it because it's technically a PS5 game.
Yeah, that sounds like Sony doesn't even. They don't need to do this, man. like why? I don't know. I don't agree with this. Yeah. Like, this doesn't seem right. But come on, I paid for your damn console, man. I'm in your ecosystem. Give me this. Give me this. Like, this. I already bought your game.
Yeah.
At least let me have this. I'm going to be buying more games from you because I have your system. So let my upgrade be free. But I pay for the DLC, which is understandable. But let my upgrade be free for the first party games.
So let me ask you this, Dominic. In the case of Sony being Sony and also trying to simplify things, if going forward every first party game that you bought came with the PS5 and PS4 versions, but you're currently playing only on a PS4 because you don't have a PS5 yet, if they charged you $70, what is it, 60? Is it $60 now or $70? $70, right? Because
it's $70 for the new gen games.
If they just made you pay $70, but it's like, okay, you're going to get a free wink wink upgrade because you've already paid for it, basically. Is that acceptable, or is that like, fuck no, because I'm not playing the next gen version at this time?
Oh, Daniel, I'm not buying a $70 game.
Okay.
That's one thing. I'm not buying it. I don't agree it should be $70.
Right. I'm not buying games at $70. I'm not buying them at release. Understood. Gotcha.
Yeah. That I don't agree with that. So
because games are the cheapest they've ever been, according to people who try and talk about inflation. And we've already done this whole thing when they first started talking about $70. So I'm not going to get into that. But yeah, that seems like kind of a fallacy to me.
People are still saying that. Like, I still see people say, like, hey, yeah, I'll pay $100 for.
Oh yeah, and it disgusts
this game that only costs like $15 because I play it all the time.
Yeah,
and I think it's worth it.
And that's well and good. Like, buy some merch or something for that game, right? Like, buy something else that supports that developer. Don't just say, hey, we should spend $100 on games that we like all of a sudden.
It's a psychological thing that I can't get past.
Yeah,
that like a game like. Not Among Us, but it could be Among Us.
$100 for Among Us, holy shit!
Or Among Us, or Fall Guys. Like, say if I'm a big fan of this game, I play it every single day. Or like Uno, I used to play Uno every single day. Every day I used to come home, play like 5 games of Uno, go to sleep, wake up before I go to work to Target, play like 5 games or so, whatever. But
you're right, it was an addiction, Dom.
To Target, or when I did briefly had a car, before I let it go. But I used to play Uno all the time. Now the hours I put in there, like, people could say, like, man, that game was worth it, $100 because you put so much time into it.
Yeah.
But the psychology of it is that I would never buy that game for that price, so I wouldn't have put that time into it because I would never buy it. Like, even you telling me, like, you will love this game, psychologically, I cannot get past the point that I will pay $100 for this game, no matter how long I possibly will be playing it.
Yeah,
it's just I can't get past that. Like, I know, like, $100? You kidding me?
Now, did you ever end up buying, like, you did buy some of the packs and stuff for Uno, right? So, like, they did get more money out of you in a way, but the upfront cost of, like, oh, it's just $100. Because then you prove to yourself, I'm going to continue playing this, so it's worth me putting more money into this because I'm going to continue playing.
Yeah. That's the thing. Yeah, you got to prove your worth. Nah, man. Like, I mean, I don't like shit. Like we said, when $60 came, man, I was like, yeah, damn, $60, man, what the hell? It'll be hard. Like, $70, it'll be hard. Maybe I'm not saying I would never do it.
Yeah,
but it's something I would think about. It's not something I would just be like, yeah, I'll just go and buy it. Yeah, it's something I would think about. Like I would think like maybe I could hold out for a bit for like if I see it for like $10 sale or something. Mm-hmm. Like I'll take that and just say, hey, I paid the $60. I paid it like it was before. Yeah.
It really feels like with the $70 game, we really need to get back to a point where demos exist or some way of touching a game before you plunk down that money has to exist because it's just absurd. Yeah.
It's just that the games have changed too much except for, I know it looks better, and so they put more into it. Just that, why is this
a product that costs more than this product? Why?
Yeah, it's like, it looks better, but it's like, it's still the same kind of game I played before.
Because you also get into the weird tier thing where like, okay, I can buy Gears of War at $70, or I can buy Ty the Tasmanian Tiger at $70. Like,
yeah,
one of these should maybe not be a $70 game if we're considering that to be the pinnacle.
Replay value is the pinnacle. Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, even production standpoint, everything, like on so many layers, that game is, high at the top tier of video games, right?
Yeah. But then you gotta look at like maybe like a Ratchet and Clank, which is like how much they put in that, like how gorgeous that looks. Yeah. And then compare it to just like the game I just said, Fall Guys, or let's just say Hades, something like that. They didn't probably take as much as far as putting the work into their games, into the way like the graphics and all that stuff. I mean, not saying they definitely both teams put work into like the mechanics and how the game works, but you can see the production value of Ratchet and Clank is bigger than the production value of Hades, and definitely bigger than Fall Guys. Way bigger than Fall Guys.
Except their foliage doesn't move, Dominic, so it's a trash game. So
yeah, but I'm playing those games more, so I guess they should cost. I mean, should they cost more then? Because I'm putting more hours. I'm playing. I get to play that more. While Ratchet and Clank, most likely, I'll play it to the end, and then that's it. Yeah. It's. I know it's like what you pay, but then I just put my foot down. It's basically that I will just wait on these games.
Yeah, especially in this day and age where you really do see discounts extremely quickly in relation to
just
things.
Just Nintendo games. They're the only ones.
Yeah. Because, I mean, even I think last weekend, Sony had things like Returnal and some of their other PS5, Demon Souls, Spider-Man. They had them for like $10 cheaper. And it's like, okay, that's, now we're talking. So. All right, Dominic, speaking of Sony, though, they are taking your extra $10 per video game and buying some studios. They've got Housemarque, speaking of Returnal, developers behind that, and Resogun. They picked them up, as well as Nixies, who is a port house who's made the PC ports of games like the previous Tomb Raider trilogy, as well as Avengers, Deus Ex. It seems like they've done a lot of work for like Square Enix, IDOS kind of people. So that's led to a lot of speculation that, maybe Sony is going to be looking more into getting their PS5 games, or just their games in general, their first party games, onto the PC as a platform. We've already seen games like Days Gone, Horizon Zero Dawn end up on the PC. There have been rumblings that the Uncharted collection and Uncharted 4 were going to end up on the PC. I mean, I think the Uncharted 4 thing came out of an actual Sony slideshow for press, for investors.
That's what I heard too.
That seems almost as official as possible, even though we really haven't seen, I don't know, like a press release saying, hey, this is coming.
I think it's still stupid that they don't put the other Uncharted up there.
It's definitely questionable, but Yeah, I mean, you look at Microsoft picking up all these studios, and I know you and I were talking about this, like, there are some people out there that say, Microsoft picking up all these studios is a bad thing. And it's dependent on a lot of criteria for me. Like, is it a studio like Double Fine? Are they going to now be able to make the game that they want to because they have the financial backing of Microsoft versus having to go on a platform like Fig and basically hat in hand ask for money from people to make Psychonauts 2? I think in that case, it's good. Same with like Obsidian. I think, them having a financial backing and a stability is a good thing. Same with Housemarque for Sony. But the thing that differentiates a Microsoft acquisition to me and a Sony acquisition is that Microsoft is making availability of games a priority. I can buy it on PC in a lot of cases for their first party games. I can play it on Xbox. I can also just have a fucking Chromebook or an Android phone now and stream that game to my system with a pretty high level of reliability. You talked about it earlier in this podcast. Just that service is very much getting there, and we've heard talk of people putting it into TVs. You can sell something as simple as a cloud, like a stick or something, like a Chromecast.
Stick, yeah, one of those stick, either Amazon stick or
Fire Stick or something like that. And that's what I thought, we talked about it when we started hearing rumblings of like a cheap Xbox. I thought maybe that's the route they would go, just like a little set-top box that streams these games. And now I'm hearing, which I didn't realize at the time, we talked about Flight Simulator coming to the Xbox Series X. But apparently what they're also doing is they're bringing it to the Xbox One, but they're bringing it through cloud streaming. So you can play it on your Xbox One. And if you can start streaming Xbox Series X games on your Xbox One or through your Xbox One, I guess, basically, that's awesome, right? Like now, as an owner of an Xbox One, I might not have to ever buy an Xbox Series X because you have the hardware on, the far side of the earth. And I'm able to just pull that down through the internet and get a stream on my console. I think that's really cool.
I guess you get the third-party games on, like the ones that don't come to the cloud or Game Pass on your PC or PlayStation, I guess.
Or maybe if this is successful, then third parties start to see the benefit of it. And I would be a little worried that they do their own thing, then you end up with like a Netflix, YouTube, or Hulu, HBO Max kind of situation. And I hope maybe Microsoft can wrangle them in a little more and just say like, hey, this is our platform. We would prefer if you just, joined us here. So we'll see how that goes. I mean, they've been successful with like the EA Play stuff. I know there was also, I thought at least there were rumors at one point that they were also going to bring Ubisoft into the fold. So that would be incredible if they were able to do that. So, and again, whenever I'm talking about this stuff, I'm talking about this from a place of privilege where we do have broadband internet, high speed internet, I should say, in our area, and some people more in the middle of the country and more rural areas maybe don't have that. And that's why you have other options for them. But
they're red states, Dan, so I don't care.
Okay.
That was a joke.
Microsoft doesn't care about red states. But yeah, basically like having that ability, having that option, even if it's not, it's an option, and it's always good to have more options. So I'm not going to complain about that, but yeah, basically back to them having the potential for Sony to also be releasing their games on PlayStation, I think is only good for consumers, basically, is the roundabout way of getting there.
Yeah, because I think you were trying to get to that they can possibly port the games to PC at least, more games, because that's what Nixxes does. I wonder, is Nixxes going to be doing that or something totally new?
I hope, just because it sounds like there's been a lot of talk around Sony as of late, that they want to do that kind of stuff to bring it to PC and expand the audience a little more.
I do too. I mean, I personally do too.
Yeah, I definitely hope that that's their idea behind it.
I mean, but if they choose the other way, I mean, it's not horrible because, hey,
no, give those guys an opportunity to do what they want, right?
Yeah.
So, maybe with Sony Cash, they can do a little of both. They can expand, working on ports and also have teams that
or Sony just get somebody else to do ports or something. I don't know. Who knows? Yeah. I mean, if they maybe get both things happen somehow,
Yeah. Absolutely. So, yeah. All right, Dominic, speaking of new games, NetherRealms has announced that they are officially done supporting Mortal Kombat 11. There's going to be no more DLC characters, and people are also speculating that also means no more balance patches and things of that nature.
Can you just give us all the costumes for free?
No.
I mean, technically they are free, but can you just give it to us without me working towards getting them?
Now they'll be less angry with you if you just cheat to get them all through like Cheat Engine or whatever. Yeah, but what do you want next from them? There was those rumors going around that they might be making a Marvel game. I have said that I wouldn't mind seeing them do a WWE game after that phone game that they made. I think it was like WWE Immortals or something like that. Or are we just looking at Injustice 3?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't mind Injustice 3, but just more DC guys fighting is cool, but I kind of want something different.
Mm-hmm. What if Microsoft bought them out from under Warner Brothers and they made the new Killer Instinct?
No, I mean, that'd be awesome. They can. I mean, I'm kind of want them to do another DC versus Mortal Kombat now with the way they done these games. Like I say, okay, that'd be a cool storyline they can do with that. Really, with that now, because the last storyline wasn't. I mean, it was cheesy, but this is supposed to be cheesy,
right?
But it would. I think it'd be a whole lot better now. And with this engine, it'll be really awesome. I kind of want that, but I honestly don't know like what I want. I mean, I just hope it's cool what they do. Like I don't really have nothing. I mean, the whole Marvel thing sounds interesting, but I just doubt that's what it is. Maybe they do. Maybe since Star Wars license go all around, they're going to do a Star Wars game or something. And
it's maybe time to
lightsaber
return
battle.
to
they're going to be the best lightsaber battle one ever, and there will be fatalities because that's what happens in Star Wars. They slice them. Those lightsabers.
There won't be any blood
whatsoever. But Star Wars
whatsoever.
characters fighting. They don't have to be a lightsaber. I mean, you got Jedis. You could have like Boba Fett, Jango Fett. Han Solo, Chewbacca. You can have what's the penis head guy name? One of those Jedis that was in the temple.
I can never remember his name, but I know.
And the one with the long neck, you could get that one too. Yeah. And like cut his neck off, cut it right. Return
to Masters of Terras Ghazi. Just take it all the way back to fighting games for him.
You had Grand Moff Tarkin. He can be fighting there.
What's he do? Just stand there and look old? And he just calls in stormtroopers to miss you a whole bunch.
Princess Leia, you go the Princess Leia versus Princess Abadaba Duba.
That's good. That's great.
She fights her mother, who she never met.
Oh, why do you have to bring it down, Dominic? It's so sad. The story of Star Wars is so sad. Yeah, so we'll see. Hopefully we'll hear sooner rather than later what they're working on. But it's kind of weird that Ash from Evil Dead never came to Mortal Kombat, considering the fact that Bruce Campbell talked about that happening like a million times. But it saves them a DLC character for the future, I guess.
Yeah, that's probably what I say. Yeah, we got a lot of people. Who are we going to get now?
Did they do Evil Dead comics on DC's label at any point? Could they just add him as a Injustice character if they go that route? That'd be fun.
Constantine they haven't done yet.
There you go.
Justice, so he can be there.
Have the Dark Justice League or whatever, Justice League Dark guys in there. That'd be cool.
I mean, because you already have Swamp Thing. Mm-hmm. You have Dead Man. Boston Brand. Dead Man.
Is the what's his name? The Doctor Strange. Is he one of them?
Yeah.
Okay. So they've
is that his name too?
Not Doctor Strange. Doctor
Stranger.
Stranger Danger.
Yeah, it's strange. No, it's strange. I think it's Stranger something, or something Stranger. Stranger DC. Phantom Stranger.
Is that? That's not who I'm thinking of, is it?
Oh, do you think about the green guy?
No, I'm thinking of the guy with the gold helmet.
Oh, Dr. Fate?
Ah, Dr. Fate. Yes, him. Is he part of the Justice League Dark?
He might be, but he's one of those characters to be everywhere, though.
Gotcha.
Because he's part of Justice League. Just regular Justice League.
Okay. Gotcha. I don't know. There was always like a creepy aspect to him. I always thought of him as like a weird villainy guy.
I mean, because the helmet takes control of you somewhat.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Makes me think of like, I don't know.
Yeah, he's part of a lot of groups. Look at this. He is part of Justice League Dark, Justice League, Lords of Order, Justice Society of America, All-Star Squadron. I like All-Star Squadron because it got Uncle Sam is part of the All-Star Squadron.
Wow, look at that. Yeah. That's great.
And I read a comic with him too, man.
Yeah.
He was in the comic. It was like Suicide Squad type of comic, and he was part of some agency. I'm just like, who the fuck is this dude? It's like, why does he look like this? It's like, why is he? Like, I looked like he had super strength or something, but I was like, why are you dressed like Uncle Sam though, man? Like, do you have to dress like it?
DC's Captain America right there. That's what happens, Dominic. All right. In some other news, some new video game news, Dominic, Remedy, the developers behind games like, did they do Max Payne? I don't know why that's the first one that comes up when there are much more recent games like Alan Wake and Control that we could be talking about. And I could not necessarily be wrong about. So they are making a new Control game that's going to be a multiplayer game because they just entered into a partnership, a strategic partnership with co-publishing partnership with 505 Games, the ones that put out Control. So they announced that they're doing a multiplayer Control game and then a single player, like bigger budget Control game, which Control seemed like a pretty big budget game. The only thing that sticks out to me about this is like how much drama there was around 505 and their handling of like Control upgrades and everything. Yeah. So I was a little surprised that they didn't want to maybe distance themselves from that a little bit before they jumped into a partnership like this. But hey, if they're, again, this is like the Microsoft thing where it's like if somebody's out there that wants to give people who make video games more money to make bigger budget, more beautiful, expansive video games, I'm all for it, Dominic.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm for it too.
Now, a multiplayer Control game with the powers that you end up getting by the end of that game, I think they could do some very interesting things, but I really just need to know like what the basics of your video game is going to be, because we've already talked about like the plethora of 4-player co-op games in the Left 4 Dead fashion we've been seeing as of late. Like what does that game end up being at the end of the day? So, guess we'll find out in a couple of years, knowing how video game development goes.
Yeah. There's a lot more of those Left 4 Dead games, type of games coming out than I
than you even realized.
Yeah, man.
Yep. Yeah, I'm sure there's some flying under our radar still, too. That are just like, oh, hey, here's this like indie kind of thing coming. Yeah, and then another partnership we heard about this week, Dominic, Konami and Bloober Team. The ones that do like Layers of Fear and all the Medium. That's the one that just came out on the Xbox last year.
Okay.
Yeah, those guys do scary shit. They are working on something together, unspecified, but the speculation is, of course, Silent Hill. Because that makes sense.
But then it's going to be a new pachinko machine or whatever the hell those shit's called.
Yes. You nailed it. Yep.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be a pachinko machine or it's going to be a health spa that is just scary for some reason. Now, I know you haven't really been listening to podcasts about video games a lot as of late. Have you heard any of this stuff about Kojima being like a pretend guy and making a game with Konami?
What's a pretend guy?
So do you remember when Phantom Pain came out and they did that whole like Moby Dick Studios and it totally not being Kojima and then it just ended up being Kojima?
Yeah.
So there's now this other game studio, and I'm not going to get into the specifics of it because I don't really know them. But like apparently there's this developer in the Netherlands that some people have somehow come to the conclusion that it is like another Kojima front, and they're making a game. I think at one point we talked a little bit about it because it's a Sony exclusive called Abandon that they're working on right now. But apparently there's like, they're doing all this stuff with Sony that people don't think this small indie publisher would be doing. And like, there are all these like really tiny clues that people are piecing together to basically say this is another Phantom Pain situation. And it's actually going to be Kojima's next game, but also it's somehow tied to Konami and possibly a Silent Hill thing. And like, that's where it just all falls apart for me because like, the way that Kojima seemingly left Konami doesn't seem like a relationship that is going to be mended after a couple of years. Unless, you know, maybe they're just willing to back a fucking Brinks truck up to his house, which even then, like, doesn't Kojima have enough money at this point probably to do whatever he wants?
I have no idea how much. Maybe he works for peanuts now. You just don't know. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. When I think about guys like him, or like Cliff Bleszinski, like guys that I know the names of in video games, because they are very few and far between. I can't help but think that they're doing pretty good in their lives financially.
That's at least in my mind. I think that too.
Yeah, you know. Meanwhile, like Shigeru Miyamoto is living in like a 1-bedroom apartment, just eating mushrooms all day and sketching Marios. Like, I don't know. So yeah. But yeah, there's a whole like complicated mess of stuff there that if you want to go down like a rabbit hole of, you could very easily do. But if that's the case, then I don't know why you would have Bloober Team involved unless like he's working with Bloober Team. You know, like these are the ideas I had for Silent Hills with Norman Reedus. Maybe do that, but in your own style. I don't know. But I would like to see I would like to see Konami actually doing things with their properties and hiring a team like Bloober Team who seems to know what they're doing as far as scary bullshit games, you know, hiring the best people to apply your franchises to. I'm here for it. You know, find somebody to work on a Castlevania game while you're at it.
Do some shit. Exactly. Yeah. Castlevania. What we got? What else Konami got?
Winning 11 Soccer. Is that them? Or are they Pro Evolution Soccer? They're one of those soccer games.
I think it's Pro Evolution.
Okay. Yeah. Get somebody to make a Pro Evolution.
I remember the other Konamis are
Metal Gear Solid.
Well, yeah, but I don't like that as much.
Yeah. Also, like I think that's one that you could just let die. Like that's very much Kojima. And if you never release a Metal Gear Solid game ever again, then without Kojima, then that seems fine to me.
Do another Simpsons game or something, man.
Now we're talking.
Contra, you got Contra, man. Okay, Bomberman.
Man, they've got Bomberman. Yeah, they need to give Bomberman
Yeah, I knew
to somebody
Frogger. I was
else.
trying to say Frogger, but I kept thinking it wasn't Frogger. Yeah, Frogger. Bring Frogger back.
There you go. 3D platforming Frogger. I'm here for it.
Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yu-Gi-Oh. I don't need anything Yu-Gi-Oh.
I think they still come out with it, so I don't think
That's, I mean, we definitely talked in the recent past some Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. Yeah.
All right, so what else we got here?
All right, Dominic. So that was it for the news that I saw. Did you see anything else before we get into the games for gold and PlayStation Plus for this month?
Nah, I don't have anything else.
All right, Dominic. We got games for gold. We got Planet Alpha and Rock of Ages 3 Make and Break for
I know what one of those are.
Xbox One, and then we have Conquer Live and Reloaded and Midway Arcade Classics for 360.
These are games.
These are games, Dominic. Yeah, yeah. Conquer Live and Reloaded. That's cool. You know, it's kind of one of the bigger names.
I played a little bit of this game just to see how it looks. Oh, it looks nice. I just never went any further into it. I always said I'll play it one day. I just never did.
Trying to think where I spent I think I spent the most time with that game through an emulator for the 64 version. I don't know that I ever spent a lot of time with the Xbox One.
And for some reason, I always thought this was a sequel, Daniel. Like, I mean, even
it's time for
N64 version. Bad Fur Day.
Yeah, just because it had a subtitle. Maybe it was the next one.
Like, yeah, because this is what, like the high. Like a better looking version of Bad Fur Day, like redone. Yeah,
yeah.
That's what this is, right? Yeah. So Bad Fur Day, I thought that was a sequel. I thought that QT Conquer. I mean, I talked about this on the podcast. That the QT Conquer came out before.
Yeah.
And then I realized, I think it was on the podcast when we was looking up something, and I was like,
mind blown.
Oh no, that never came out. And I said, what? And then I saw that, they changed it to Bad Fur Day. They went from QT to make them bad. I was just thinking it was a QT game, and then they made a evil, right? Like,
yeah, no, the only QT one that came out, I think, was on the Game Boy Color or the Game Boy Advanced. There might actually be two, but yeah, there was a QT one, but yeah, never a full like console one. Yeah, so there's that, and then for PlayStation Plus, we have A Plague Tale: Innocence for the PS5 exclusive. And then Call of Duty Black Ops 4 and WWE 2K Battlegrounds. So some interesting choices there.
They get in Call of Duty Black Ops 4?
Yeah.
What was the last Call of Duty that came out? Cold War, okay. But still, Black Ops 4?
That was what? The one before that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's not too bad.
And A Plague Tale, I heard some good things from, and we're getting a sequel.
Yeah.
And WTK Battlegrounds, I played some of that, and it was horrible. So, but maybe maybe y'all like it if you try it out.
It's free I'll give it a try now that it's free. Yeah, it's not something I would have paid for, but yeah. So that's what we got for this month, Dominic. Anything else before we get into new releases here?
Nah, you can get in.
All right. First up, we got Doki Doki Literature Club Plus, the console version of this game coming to the Switch and the Xbox and PS4. So this is a weird thing, right, Dominic? It's
yes,
dating sim / narrative thing. What are those called? Like a Phoenix Wright style thing.
They call virtual novels.
Yes. Yeah. Virtual novels, basically. But there's also some weird stuff that this gets into, which I'm not going to be spoilery about because, like, I kind of am intrigued to see it myself, and I don't know if I'm intrigued enough to play the game.
Like you're young.
No,
this ain't that.
Definitely not
that type of game, right? It's not.
I mean, I can't say that because they definitely do look young, so I don't.
Well, it is a dating simulator, but
it goes some places.
Yeah, it goes some places. That seems like it's interesting from what I read description. Like, first I was just thinking like, oh man, I want no hentai shit, but it's not. It's not that.
Yeah, so I'm intrigued by it. Like I kind of want to. I don't know that I want to play it, but I definitely want to see what happens there. So I might end up watching some videos on that.
That's
All
why
right, we
this thing
also
called
have
YouTube.
Destroy All Humans for the Nintendo Switch. So that's out now
That's
there.
about time.
I probably took them a long time to scale them graphics back, Dominic. That's all I can think.
Well, just put the PlayStation version up there. Damn.
You also got Blaster Master Zero for the Xbox One and Series X, which you want to talk about a long time. This came from the 3DS and then released in like last year on the PS4, and now it's finally coming to the Xbox. So
Darn. And so this, I was thinking like this is a new game.
no,
like
this is an old one. Yeah. So it's had a long journey. And then we got Zombies Ate My Neighbors and Ghoul Patrol Pack on the PC, Nintendo Switch, PS4, and Xbox One. We had previously talked about that because I was telling you about how like I have memories of going over to my buddy's house and playing his Super Nintendo and playing Zombies Ate My Neighbors a lot and not being very good at it. But for $15, and the only new thing about them is basically like a quick save feature, I don't know if I'm convinced on that one. Like I could play that in an emulator with some Game Genie cheats and probably be a lot happier.
Come on, give us an HD version.
Yeah, or at the very least, put online co-op in there instead of just local co-op. Do something.
Oh damn, they didn't even do that. Yeah, do something.
So that's unfortunate. And then we have Space Jam: The New Legacy out.
Oh,
currently.
I meant to stop you before you said it. Shit.
I'm sorry. Why did you need to stop me, Dominic?
I ain't want you to say it.
Okay.
It don't exist.
Don't give LeBron any shine.
It's like I was joking.
Yeah,
so
currently
this game is out. Yeah,
it's only available as part of if you have Game Pass and you have the perks, you can access it through there, and then it gives you a code to download it. It doesn't release like officially in the store until July 15th, I believe, when that movie comes out. So it's kind of like a preview. I haven't really seen any reviews for this. I didn't get a chance to play it yet. I do want to try it out. But I looked on Metacritic. There's not any like real reviews, but there was like one person that was like, this is kind of like, it seems like they didn't have a lot of time to make this game, which just based on reading about
LeBron
it
made
didn't seem like there was a lot of time to do it. But I just wonder if that means it's going to be a short game or if it means it's kind of a buggy mess. I hope the former rather than the latter. All right, Dominic, you got anything else for the week?
Nah, I'm good, man. All
right. Thank you guys as always for listening. You can check us out on Twitter. Dominic is at DStalworth5. I'm at Regulus MB. The podcast is at Superpod, SUPAPOD. Superpod.com is the website. You can check us out there. Has all the previous podcasts as well as links to all the places you can find us, including YouTube, where there's a video version of this podcast, as well as iTunes, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, and Spotify. Until next week, guys. See you later.
All right, see you.